What's up, Grand Plasma? Welcome to the stream. Give me a second, I gotta get some stuff set up here. Alright, I think I'm good. What's up, Shadow Assassin? What up, Marco? What up, Kareem? Morphine, welcome to the stream. What's up, Thor? You think I'm gonna get it today? I hope so, too. What's up, Andrea? Welcome to the stream. First like? Awesome, Kareem. You're also running Treecko Grand Plasma? Well, good luck to you. Yo, Shadow, what's up? You've been out for 2 days in Oris. No. Well, I mean, you have better odds than I do right now, because your odds are about half of what mine are. Or, like, half is on, like... I don't know how to... You have 2 times as much of a chance of getting it as I do, so... You may end up with it before I do here. Haven't gotten any sleep? Dude, you need to... It's okay to take a break. There have been plenty of chains where I'll, like, just one more and stay up for, like, an extra hour. I know the feeling. Please have a moment of silence for the loss of KFC Gold. RIP. Yeah, man, that sucks so bad to have lost the save. There's probably a way to, like, remake it, like, create a fake Emerald save that has it, but it just probably wouldn't be the same. But because of that, I know you and definitely me probably keep a backup of any emulator save ever. Just to avoid losing it. What's up, Wolfstar? Welcome to the stream. Kelvin, welcome to the stream. So no... Oh, RIP. I guess I talked through the moment of silence, didn't I? My bad. I'll do the next encounter in silence for you. Alright, so we stopped like 10 out from a save reset last time, so 3 more and then we'll reset the save and really get going. Ah! I mentioned not do that at all last stream, and I do it in the first 10 here. $24.21. All right, Shadow. All right. We'll see. We'll see. We'll probably get to, I want to say, like, somewhere between 2,600 and 2,700 in terms of number of encounters for tonight. Alright, last one before we restart the save. Congrats on 100 subs. Thank you, Thor! I'm pretty hyped about that, because, like, I honestly didn't expect, like, anything out of this. I was just kind of streaming for fun, and, like, so my friends could watch while I did this kind of stuff. Thank you, Andrea! Can I break my soft reset chain? I don't know how I'd break a soft reset chain. Alright, so I'm going to restart the save here. Alright, see you later, Shadow. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully we can get through this part real fast and get back to actual shiny hunting here quickly. Oh, if you can break one, because you make a lot of mistakes. I don't think you can... If you mean like soft reset chains, you can't really break those because there's no chaining. Like... Most methods, when you talk about breaking the chain, it's because, like, there's a counter for the number of times you do it. Like, with SOS hunting, there's a counter for the number of times, like, a Pokemon calls in for help, and that resets if, like, you leave the battle, or if you knock out, like, the Pokemon that's left on the field is into the same evolution chain. Like, that stuff breaks chains, but, like, with soft resetting, there's not really any kind of chaining effect to it. I'm not going to get it today or tomorrow or the next day, but that could be karma. Why would it be karma? So yeah, like, soft resetting is, like, I guess kind of a safe method, especially with, like, a starter. The only way to really mess up is to soft reset over the shiny, which in Emerald isn't as big of a deal as it is in other games. Your name sounds funny with my accent. I thought I was saying it pretty normally, but yeah, I guess, you know, different places in the world, it just sounds good. Oh, yeah, no, Grandpa's... The game doesn't even remember that you're, like, soft resetting. So you can't actually, like, break a chain. There's no chain to break. Am I going to do a playthrough of any other game besides Pokemon? Maybe, Kareem. I'd have to find a game to do. Because in terms of, like, DS games and, like, other just console games, I don't have a way to capture any of them except, like, the Game Boy games. I could possibly do some, like, other games that are on PC, because I have some of those. But I'd have to figure out... I'd kind of have to figure out which ones people would want me to do. Because most of my games I've played through, so, like, already, like, so in terms of, like, actual Let's Playable games... It'd be kind of hard to do that because I wouldn't have the same enthusiasm as, like, playing through it for a first time. But I've considered... I don't know if I'd do it on a day I already stream, or if I'd, like, do it on a different day. Like, streaming other random games besides Pokemon. You know, like, stream Rocket League with some friends, or other things like that. Or Overwatch, or stuff like that. Like, that would be fun, but... Either I'd lose a day of streaming Pokemon, or... I'd have to find a new day, and I won't be able to find, like, a new day until the middle of August, because right now my schedule is really packed. Do I want Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon or Diamond Pearl remakes? Personally, I kind of like having Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, because I still haven't actually played through, the original Gen 4 all the way. Like, I'm currently playing through Platinum, and I almost made it through Pearl a long time ago. But my DS got broken, and a whole bunch of different reasons I didn't pick it back up. So having Ultra Sun Ultra Moon I like because I got a lot more into Sun and Moon, just because I got back into it, I beat the games, and I've been like shiny hunting in them since they came out. So personally, I'm happy with getting Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon over Diamond and Pearl. But I would have been okay with them too. Like, I would have enjoyed those as well. I did save, so we're good. Both, of course. Yeah, if I could have both, I'd have both. But in terms of preference, personally, I kind of lean towards Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Hopefully there'll be different enough stories that it's not just playing through the same game again. But I would be excited to get Diamond and Pearl Remix as well. I'm also not surprised that those would be coming to the Switch if they made them. Like, I don't know why, just the fact that they were like the first games on the DS in the first place, to have them on the new form factor. I don't know, maybe. I think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon's easier for them to do while they have to remake like the engine for Gen 8 for the Switch. Yeah, between Gen 4 remakes or Ultra Sun Ultra Moon, I didn't know which ones they were going to make, but I knew it was going to be one of the two. Everyone was saying, like, third game, or, you know, go straight to the Switch, and they weren't going to go to the Switch. The Switch couldn't have happened if they wanted to have more than 2 games that release at the same time in Gen 7. You have Palkia, Celebi, and Articuno. Nice, Vincent! Currently, I don't have any of those, actually. I used to have an Articuno on an old copy of Fire Red, but I lost that cartridge a long time ago. And Palkia was on a save on my copy of Pearl, and that got reset a while ago, too. Have I encountered a shiny Poochie? Well, first off, it's Zigzagoon. Just, I don't really care, but, yeah. I haven't actually encountered any shinies yet. But with Emerald, it wouldn't be as bad. Because Emerald has messed up RNG, which makes it where if I encounter, like, a shiny Poochyena or a Zigzagoon in this case, it just says that I can get a shiny early in the game, because most games, like, it's truly random. When you soft reset, it starts creating, like, different random numbers for shinies. But in Emerald, for whatever reason, literally hasn't happened in any of the generations after it. It starts with the same number over and over again, so you get the same, like, frames in the game become shiny. So if I get a shiny Zigzagoon, it just means I have to input to get the Treecko a little bit faster, and I can get a shiny. Yeah, it means Zigzagoon, yeah. Too early in Switch's life for mainline Pokemon game, especially with its current announced upcoming lineup. Yeah, I kind of see that. Like, the Switch is kind of like Pokemon. Like, while Game Freak isn't, you know, directly Nintendo, it's obviously really close to Nintendo, and they work together. Like, the Switch doesn't need a lot of promotion right now with the Pokemon game. Plus, the Pokemon games would probably still sell better initially on, like, this year for this holiday. They'd sell better on a 3DS still, because there's still so many shortages when it comes to, like, getting your hands on a Switch. Like, I've been looking everywhere and I still can't find one that's not marked up at least like $100. So there's that, and also they just made Sun and Moon. They just redid the engine for Gen 7, and to put that on the Switch would take reworking again, and they're not gonna make 2 engines in 2 years. Like, that's never happened in the Pokemon series. Game Freak made a game on their own recently? Yeah, I did see that, Morphine. It's like a 2D platformer or something, I think. Sans, you're saying 3,000? Alright, we'll see. It's still a little bit off, but we'll see. I didn't look into that game too much because I just didn't have money at the time, but Giga Record, yeah, that sounds familiar. It's really fun. Yeah, I want to check it out, you know, because it's Game Freak. At least partially because it's Game Freak, and I like platformers. You recommend it? Alright, I'll definitely have to check it out. When it initially released, I had like a penny in my Steam wallet. Alright, Kareem, see you in a bit. Oh, it was in early access too? Okay. That may have been another reason why I didn't, like, really look into it. I think I just saw, like, you know, Game Freak announces, like, game that's not a Pokemon game, and I was like, oh, what's this? Soundtrack's pretty good? Alright. I mean, Pokemon soundtracks have been really good, so I'm not surprised. But if it's actually, like, getting reviewed well, that it's, you know, still Game Freak quality, then I'll definitely be looking into it. It's been finished for a while? Okay. Yeah, I feel like I saw it months ago. Back to Overwatch. Alright, Morphe. What's up, Shy Fox Games? Welcome to the stream. You're back and you finally convinced your sister to sub. That's awesome. And welcome back. I'm hoping we can get it tonight. I think this may be my 10th stream, but I think that's counting like one where I had to stop for a little bit, like really early on. So we've been doing this for like 3 weeks now. Hopefully we can get it soon. I really want to actually be able to play this game and have this Treecko. And also be able to do some more hunts. Wait, did you miss something? I don't think you did, Glysaur. It has to come. I hope so, Shy Fox Games. I would love to get it this stream, but I mean, the odds are 1 in 8,192. Like, so they're pretty low odds. And we've only been going for a little over 2,000, basically. So we're not even a quarter of a way to having gone for the entire set of the odds. Even though that doesn't really mean we'll get it, but that's kind of a good gauge. Can't wait for Shiny Treecko. I can't either over level Glysaur. Like, I'm so excited to get this. We'll just have to see when it pops up. Tessa Richards, welcome to the stream and thank you for the sub. Yeah, so this is by far my longest shiny hunt at this point, so I'm super hyped to get it. I think with me saying it's also been like 10 streams, it means we've put almost like 30 hours, so it's been over a straight day of shiny hunting for this Treecko. And as much as it would have been awesome to get it super quick, like, the longer it takes, the sweeter actually getting it will be. What days do I stream? So I don't have like an official schedule, but what I try to do and what I've been able to keep up pretty well, with one exception, is I try to stream on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 7 to 10 Eastern Time. So same time as like I'm streaming tonight, and I try to do it Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. The reason I haven't like made it official yet is just because it's still a little way off, but right now it's my summer vacation, and when I go back to school, the schedule will probably end up having to change. Just for like, you know, I work right now, and when I'd be, you know, working, I might not be in class, and I might be able to stream at different times that are better for me. So once we get to like middle of August, I'll probably have a more nailed down schedule. It may be the same, it may be a little bit different. You go back to school in September? Yeah, I mean, I'm in college, so like it's a little bit different than just like, you know, like elementary through high school. But like, even, you know, for me, all of my like school from kindergarten to 12th grade started extremely early in August. Like we got out, you know, end of May, a little bit before that. So we got out kind of early relative to a lot of places, but then we had to go back early. And college is a little bit different, just, you know, with different ways the semesters work and stuff. But yeah, like, I have to go back and like I just move into my apartment and stuff middle of August, but I start classes, you know, like last week or something. It feels like we're blazing through these though, because we hit 2400 like not too long ago, and we're already about to have to switch up the chain again here. Yeah, 6 more after this, and then we're gonna have to restart the save again already. You're in mountain time right now? Okay, so it's not too late for you right now. Yeah, so it's I don't know, mountain time 2 or 3 hours behind Eastern time. I forget. It's probably about the time. Oh, 2 hours off. Okay. See, that put me streaming from like 5 to 8, which is about, you know, a good time. I'd feel like if I streamed at like that time locally, I'd kind of like that. It's just right now, like I work in an office job, so I work from like 9 to 5, so I don't have time to stream earlier in the day. So like, and starting at 7 gives me enough time to get home from work, eat dinner, relax for a little bit, and then actually hop on. But thankfully with school, being as a college, and I can choose all my classes and stuff, I can set up my classes so I'm done by like 2, and I can come home and stream earlier, which works better for a lot of people, I feel. Because right now when I stream, I've noticed there are some people who like are in the chat from places like Ireland and Greece and France and Italy, and for them it's like 2 in the morning or 4 a.m. and it's like if they want to watch, they generally only watch on like weekends because it's too late for them otherwise. Oh, you live in Michigan, but you're in Colorado for okay. So normally you're on a Central Time then, right? I don't know. East. Okay. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I was assuming like the Eastern. I was just thinking like the Eastern time zone went up the East Coast on just like those states, but yeah, they stretch pretty far over. So. Okay. Yeah. Alright, I think I just went 1 over on the time. I should have reset the save, so we're going to go ahead and do that now. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit quicker at this. I haven't messed up at all recently, even though saying that means I'm going to do it this time. Like, thankfully I've always, you know, I've at least started remembering to save before I open the bag, text speed set faster, using a controller that doesn't have a button that sticks. So no more walking into TVs. So can get started on the Pokemon adventure faster now, instead of just watching the TV after we miss a news broadcast. So just for anyone who's new to the streams, wondering what I'm doing right now, Emerald has messed up RNG. In most Pokemon games, when you soft reset, the seed that it uses to generate shiny values changes. And it builds, you know, the personality value of a Pokemon, which generates IVs and nature and shiny and all this. Normally it's based off of your trainer ID and this random number generated when the game starts. However, in Emerald, that number isn't random, it's always the same. Which means that, like, you have the same two numbers. Your trainer ID is always the same, and this number is always the same in Emerald. Creating these, like, personality identifiers, basically. I don't know if this is, like, the correct terminology, but, like, the personality ID of the Pokemon, which controls all this stuff, is the same. Like, it's random every frame, but it's the same random. Which means that, you know, if frame 25 of the game's shiny, then it's always frame 25 that's shiny. And that doesn't work. Sometimes it's good if you have an early one for soft resetting, but sometimes it's bad because, you know, you might not have one, you know, until frame 20,000, which isn't for like 5 minutes in the game. And you don't know that unless you spend all this time trying every frame up to 5 minutes in the game, which takes forever. So what you do in Emerald is you just reset the save, and it gives you a different trainer ID. So instead of, you know, changing the number that's supposed to change automatically, you just change your trainer ID and hopefully get a shiny frame that's earlier. You wish that you had traveled for your vacation. Yeah, Kareem, it's fun, but sometimes I enjoy staying at home a lot. Like, sometimes it's good just to have a vacation where you just relax and, you know, you do nothing. Like, it's always fun, you know, go to a beach or, you know, go to the mountains or something. But then you feel like you have to do stuff. But there are other times that, yeah, I just like laying around in bed all day or just sitting on a couch watching anime or something. Welcome, Ninjado's Gaming. You're from Brazil. Cool. You're not into the waiting game for shiny, for resets and shiny. I get that. I get that. I used to be that way. Like, there was a... At the beginning of Pokemon Sun, I was like, I'm going to get a shiny Rowlet. So I started breeding them, and I made it to, like, 80. And I was like, wow, this is a lot. And that was without the shiny charm and everything. And even with shiny charm and Masuda method, it took me, like, multiple thousand eggs to get 3 shiny Rowlets. And I was like, wow, I really didn't do it that long before. Thank you, Dr. Manowar. I appreciate that. Yeah, I used to be like, I'd always be like, I'm going to try to get a shiny at like soft reset like 5 or 6 times. Be like, I haven't gotten it yet? Come on. And then I just play the game. But now, like, I've gotten better about that because I've spent so much time shiny hunting already. That, to me, even like 30 hours of hunting right here isn't a lot. What's the best ROM hack, or the hardest one I've ever played? I haven't actually played any ROM hacks, fully through. The closest thing that I remember the name of to a ROM hack isn't even a ROM hack. It was that Pokemon Uranium game that came out, and I played a little bit of it, but it just kind of fell off to me. And the only memory I have of any kind of ROM hack was some ROM hack of Gen 5 that I started and didn't end up really playing. I don't even remember the name of it. It was a long time ago. For the most part, if I play on an emulator, I try to play like a legitimate ROM, just because there's so many Pokemon games that I haven't beat like legitimately that I want to beat all like the ones Game Freak made first. You'd love to see my reaction to Shiny Treecko. I would too, because this is the first time I've streamed anything, and I've said this is my longest like hunt so far. So, you know, most of the time it's gotten to the point where I kind of got like a little bit into the groove of just, you know, SOS chain and sun for a shiny. Oh, hey, shiny, put it in the PC box. Go back, catch another one. Oh, I have 2. You know, I can get the evolution now. And it got monotonous where it was still like, oh, hey, shiny, but it was, you know, oh, hey, shiny. So this, I don't know what I'm going to do. I know a lot of people have been like, don't yell too loud, you know. I'll try not to, like, freak out and blow out mics and headphones and stuff, but there will probably be a bit more excitement to this than I've had in a while when it comes to shiny hunting. And for anyone who's in the chat and wants to chat outside of these streams as well, just because these streams, you know, they're 3 hours a night, and they only happen like 3 times a week. There is a link to a Discord server in the description of the video for anyone that wants to join that, and in there we can, you know, chat about stuff and everything outside the stream as well. You know, I've been posting shinies as I find them in Sun when I get them, and you know, it's just a bunch of fun to be able to talk to people. What's my favorite legendary? That's a tough one. I think I'd say Rayquaza, just because Emerald was one of my first games. I think it was my second. I think the order I bought a copy of Fire Red, and then for Christmas that year I got Emerald and Sapphire, and I don't remember which one I got first. But, like, you know, Rayquaza was the coolest to me. Like, a dragon, a green dragon, that was awesome as a kid. And, you know, so that was like one of the first shinies that I really remember being like, I want to get. Before, the only ones before that were the legendary birds, and they're cool and all, but they weren't, like, super, you know, important to the story or anything, so it's just kind of like, oh, they're cool to catch, they're rare. But Rayquaza was the first one that I even remember myself going after and trying to catch. If I had $1 million, what would I do? I'm not going to go the lame route of, oh, I'd invest it and save it. If I had $1 million and I had to spend it, computer parts, car parts, and a lot of video games and anime stuff. Yours is Giratina. Cool, Kareem. Cool. I still haven't caught it. I have Platinum, so I'm working towards it. But I'm in the middle of a Dratini hunt on my 3DS right now, so I can't actually play it. Just because I can't pull out Sun, otherwise I lose a chain that's at about 90 now. Favorite car? Ooh, good one. I'm gonna leave, like, I'll say favorite, like, supercar type car, and then my favorite, like, more everyday type car, not multi-millions or something. Favorite supercar would probably be the Koenigsegg Agera 1-1, just because I'm a massive Koenigsegg fanboy. And then, in terms of more, like, normal street type car, I'm going to leave my bias towards my own car out of it, because I could say that and with a smug look on my face, even though I realize that my car is a super cheap car. What would I say for that? Probably like an R35 GTR as a street car. Favorite Pokemon game? I would have to say my favorite Pokemon game as of right now is Pokemon Sun, because I kind of fell out of Pokemon in middle school and high school, because that's the phase that like a lot of kids go through. Pokemon's for kids, you know, I'm too cool for that, and I was one of those kids. So I didn't get back into Pokemon until like I started college, and I got Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and was like, oh, this is, you know, awesome, get to play Hoenn again. And then when Pokemon Sun and Moon released, I was at a GameStop at midnight picking up a copy, and I haven't put it down since. I loved the story, and as soon as I finished the story, I started shiny hunting, and I'm up to like 800 hours on my cartridge. Steckles, welcome to the stream. You're an R32 guy. I can appreciate that. I don't know. Just in general, I like GTRs. The thing is, it's part of it, I guess, is, you know, it's a lot more common to have an R35 in the US just because import laws and stuff. R32s are nice, and you can actually get them over here now. It's just, I kind of like the technology in the R35. A lot of people think it's, like, impersonal and stuff. I can kind of get that. It's also the card that like made Jeremy Clarkson throw out his back. So that's kind of a cool name to have to it. You have a Platinum, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver, Black 2, Black, Sun, Moon, Alpha Sapphire with you on vacation. Alright, I see you are prepared, Glysaur. I do that as well. I like pack a couple games that aren't Pokemon, and then I just like grab every single Pokemon game I have and take it with me. Get that shine. I will try, Nick. Welcome back to the stream, and thank you for the sub. Lester Elias, can you get a shout out? Well, there you go, my friend. I think I said your name right. If I didn't, correct me. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with pronouncing names, especially when I'm like trying to quickly glance at them in the chat and make sure the shiny isn't popping up on the screen. You stopped playing around White, but you always loved Pokemon on the Game Boy. Yeah, so I stopped playing. I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver had come out, but I wasn't like following it so closely that I like, you know, immediately knew which games were happening, which games were out. But the last game I ever played, like, as a kid, like, played Pokemon, was Pearl. And I played most of it, and kind of, what happened was, I let my sister borrow my DS while we were at, like, this big competition for me. You know, it was like on a Saturday, she had nothing to do, so like, here, play with Ian's 3DS, or with his DS. And when I got it back, it was broken. Like, you know, the original DS had that issue where you could push the screen back all the way, but you weren't supposed to. So she had done that, and it, like, broke the ribbon cable for the screen, so it was all pink. Like, the top screen was just pink. The speakers were messed up, and she had managed to corrupt, like, every save file on every game I had. So it just demotivated me, and then I entered that period of, you know, Game Boy and DS games are for little kids, you know. So I never was motivated to fix it until college, when I just bought a 3DS and bought 3DS games. What's up, Hamza? Welcome back to the stream. Thank you, Lester. I hope I get the shiny as well. Never stopped playing Pokemon. Yeah, I know you didn't. I just, you know the people that I was like kind of hanging out with at that time, and they weren't like the Pokemon type. What do I major in? I am a computer science major. I've been into programming since I was, like, super little, because I used to do Lego robotics and stuff, and in that, like, everyone built the robot, and then they programmed the robot, so I was into it since, like, 4th grade when I started that. Then in high school, I did more competitive robots, and I fell out of actually building robots when I almost went to the emergency room for a second time related to the robot stuff, so I decided I'm going to sit behind the computer and program them now. And I enjoyed it, and that's kind of what I just do now. You say 2477 will be the shiny. All right, Nick, we got two more to see. Just subscribe. Thank you, Lester. 2479. All right, Hamza, we'll see. So yeah, like, I've been into computers and stuff for pretty much my whole life, and it's just, I didn't know what I wanted to do as far as it went. Like, I was like, I want to build robots, and then I started actually building more serious robots, and was like, this isn't really my thing. I want to program robots. And then I started doing that, and from there I was like, oh, programming's really fun, and I just kind of kept going. Your guess is 2489. All right, Glysaur, we'll see. And just for anyone who doesn't, like, know kind of... So what I've been doing is, for naming this Pokemon, I'm really uncreative when it comes to names for the most part. So what I've been doing is, if someone can guess the exact number that we find the shiny on, and for me the exact number is the number that is on the screen here while the Pokemon pops up. If someone can guess the exact number and they're in chat when we get it, they can name the Pokemon as long as it's something appropriate. Otherwise, there's like one default name we choose, and for this Treecko, that default name is Corndog. So if no one guesses the name of guesses the exact number that we encounter the Pokemon on, then the name will be Corndog. Otherwise, someone gets to name the Pokemon. Would you do a Let's Play after you get the shiny? That's actually the plan, James. So, what I'm going to do is once I catch this shiny, I'm going to immediately, you know, save the game. Obviously going to have to battle the Zigzagoon. But then, what I'm going to end up doing is I have to design a whole new layout, so it won't happen immediately, like I don't have a Let's Play layout set up. I need to do that because I've already started saying I would do this for like a week or two now. But if I set up a Let's Play, like kind of setup, I'll like do Let's Plays for all the story stuff, but if I ever want to shiny hunt something, even if it's just like a zigzagoon in the grass, you know, I will stream shiny hunts, but I'll like record normal Let's Plays. I just kind of feel like progressing through a story and trying to pay attention to the story lends itself better to a Let's Play. And shiny hunting doesn't lend itself to like pre-recorded videos really at all. I don't have much to talk about when I'm sitting here soft resetting, unless chat's giving me stuff. So that's the plan, is I will do a Let's Play of Emerald once I get the shinies. So yes, to answer your question, yes. Lester, you're saying 2510. Alright. Hamza, 2500. Alright. We're getting pretty close to that. We've actually been moving pretty fast this stream, even though we've had to be doing the save resets. $24.97. Alright. Do I plan on hunting legendaries? Yes, I do. One of the main reasons I chose Emerald to do this in is because I can't get most of those shinies in Oras because I wasn't playing the game when the events were out, and they're shiny locked. So the only way to get them shiny legit now is to play a copy of like Emerald or, well, really Emerald, because it's the only way to get Rayquaza. You like Zigzagoon, you were younger and you used it and named it Shadow, and that ended up being your top 5 favorite Pokemon. Nice, Nick. Yeah, I feel like we all have that one Pokemon that, like, people didn't really... I think I didn't click the number, so I just added one there. Yeah, so, like, I feel like we all have that Pokemon that was, like, you know, super cool to us back then, and then we look back on it, it's like, that was just the common Pokemon from that region, wasn't it? You love Gen 2 because they had a shiny Pokemon? Yeah, I haven't actually, like, played a Gen 2 game, but I kind of want to, just because it's a different way of getting shinies. It actually... It's kind of interesting how you can get them, because it's all based off IVs. It's not based off of, It's not based off of another value that's not associated to anything. Ronaldo, do I remember you? I do remember you. Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon? Hamza, Ultra Sun or Moon? If you're asking me which one of the two I'll pick, I'll probably end up actually getting both. One as a personal copy, and the other one to help get a full like Pokedex in the other one when it comes to region-specific Pokemon, and to have like one as a personal I kind of play everywhere game, and then another one for if I do eventually get a 3DS capture card, which I want to, I'll be able to stream with that one. You know, stream shiny hunts on, you know, let's say I stream shiny hunts on Moon, but I play, you know, the game on Sun. Angel, I should go faster. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. I have the text speed set all the way up. I have animations turned off. I mean, it is a long process. It is going faster than most forms of hunting I've done, though. Do I want Diamond and Pearl remakes? I do. I actually talked about this earlier in the stream, and it was the first time I'd actually thought about it. And my answer is, I was okay with both Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or getting Sinnoh remakes. The thing is, I just haven't beat the original Sinnoh yet, because I was in the middle of Pearl when my DS broke, and I'm in the middle of playing through Platinum, a copy of Platinum that I picked up. But I would have been okay with either. I just knew that we weren't going to get like a single definitive edition type game like Emerald or Platinum was, and I knew we weren't going to get something on the Switch. Like, those are the two things I knew, and besides that, I was like, it's either going to be, you know, Sun 2 and Moon 2 or Diamond and Pearl remakes. And I would have been okay with either. I do want them eventually, though, and I have a feeling they're going to happen. It's okay, Angel. I want to check something real quick. Sorry about that, guys. I just had to check something. Which do I prefer, Marvel or DC? I'm not a massive comic book guy, so I'm going to go with Marvel just because I like the movies they've been putting out a lot better. Like, Batman and all that are good, and, like, there's obviously, you know, the great Christopher Nolan ones, but, like, Marvel has more consistently, I think, made, like, really good superhero-type movies. Your favorite superhero is Spider-Man, Nick? Cool. I don't know who my favorite superhero is. I'd probably say Iron Man. I remember seeing, like, the original Spider-Man movies, I guess, you know, original, like, the ones from, like, 2002, those Spider-Man movies. I remember seeing those as a kid, and, like, I liked them, but I don't know why. There was something in them that freaked me out as a kid. I forget what it is. All I know is that I did not want to see the second or third one. Hulk is one of the greatest. Hulk's pretty cool. I should do one of those generation challenges where you name all the Pokemon based on generation. What do you mean, Hamza? Like, based on the generation they're in? You want Sinnoh remakes because Glycer's in it, and you will name him Darkrai. Cool. Yeah, like, I want Sinnoh remakes. I just feel like what I think happened is Game Freak knew people were going to want it for the Switch. So, or wanted Pokemon for the Switch. And obviously, as soon as they did their whole Pokemon Direct, and everyone was like, we don't have stars for the Switch, what is this, Game Freak? Game Freak hates money. Like, Game Freak knew that was going to happen, I think. So instead of putting a lot of effort into redesigning Sinnoh in the Gen 7 engine, and, you know, getting all those Pokemon, developing all that, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon can use almost everything from Sun and Moon. They're going to add the, like, I'm guessing they're going to add Gen 2 Alolan forms, open up a few of the regions on the map that looks like something should be there, like the golf course. Things like that may open up, and that gives them a lot more time to develop Generation 8 for the Switch, which they've already announced. And we'll see, like, Sinnoh remakes in that. What if I misclicked the starter into a shiny angel? I don't know. You know, I really don't know what I would do there, just because Emerald has messed up RNG, which means if I get a shiny and I soft reset over it, I can get that shiny again more easily than, like, soft resetting over it in any other game. Because if I get a shiny, as long as I don't reset my profile, which I'm going to do here in about 5 encounters, I can get that shiny again. Just Emerald's RNG's messed up. So I could just, like, if I get a Torchic, I could just be like, oh no, and reset the game and make sure I do the inputs right to get a Treecko shiny. But I feel like if I misclick and I get a shiny, I'd go with it. Just on the principle of I got a shiny. I actually clicked down there. Alright, so. Just on the principle of, like, if I get it and it's shiny, I don't want to just be like, wrong shiny, and keep going. They're online, and if you start with Gen 1, you type all of them. I'll look into that. Kareem saying 24.97. Well, we're about to see that right now. Unfortunately, it wasn't a shiny, so we're going to keep going. 2504, Nick. We'll see that one pretty soon. If I could have any superpower, what would it be? I want to say, like, mind reading. I don't know why. It's something like that, or, you know, flying or something. Something, you know, something cool like that. Like, being able to read minds would just be I'd be able to freak people out, and that'd be kind of fun. Should you buy Sapphire or Emerald to shiny hunt? Well, so Sapphire is truly random, and there's not really a way to make your odds better in Sapphire. But Emerald has the thing that I've been mentioning with the weird RNG, which makes it where once I get this shiny, I can take its like personality value and all of its ID stuff, and there are websites out there you can use your trainer ID and the Pokemon's personality and calculate when you have shiny frames, which makes it really nice for things like using Sweet Scent to hunt for Pokemon, or if you're trying to do soft resets to get legendaries. But for the most part, aside from like soft resets at the beginning of the game here, which actually, like I'm mentioning, after this one, I'm going to remember to restart my save. So basically, like, if you're doing things like legendaries where you can just run away from the Pokemon and come back to the arena, either one's going to be the exact same. In terms of most normal things where you're soft resetting, Emerald will be better in the long run. It's going to be more of a pain at the start, though. What's up, Jobless Tuber Music? Welcome to the stream. Still no luck? Yep, Azrith. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten the shiny yet. We actually just hit 2,500 encounters, so I'm resetting the save here. Hopefully we can get a shiny frame this time. We'll get it soon. Thank you, Chikorita. I hope so. I hope I get it. What's my favorite flying Pokemon in any game? I'm gonna go with Rowlet. Because Rowlet is my favorite Pokemon, just like straight up of all time. As soon as I saw promotional stuff for Gen 7, I knew that I was going to be picking Rowlet for my starter. And then once Pokemon Refresh was in the game and I was messing around with it, I just kept falling in love with the Pokemon more and more. You'll get it when I release this, but yeah, I found that to be the case. Like, I shiny hunt in Pokemon Sun off-stream a lot. And I find a lot of the times it's the time that I set my DS down and look away to do something. You know, like respond to a text message or something, and I look back over and it's just, you know, shiny Pokemon sitting in the field. And I'm like, oh, okay. Rowlet's also your favorite Pokemon? Cool, Lester. I think a lot of people liked Rowlet. I loved Rowlet. Still go through your odds and go for 1 to 1 million for shiny. You may be right, Glysaur. I don't know though. Like, will I ever do a Nuzlocke? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Things like that are always weird for me because I generally try to like over level my Pokemon anyways, which kind of just would, I think, defeat the purpose of a Nuzlocke. Primarina kicked you in the face when you saw Popplio's final evolution. Yeah, I hadn't seen much. My friends were posting when like the initial starters came out, and from there I just kept seeing like people's predictions, and I don't know if I think I may have just mixed up the official ones with predictions, so I didn't really like know what they would look like after the first evolution until they happened, which I thought was kind of cool, and I'd like to kind of avoid that kind of spoiler because it's fun. And yeah, seeing like, because Hal chose Popplio because I chose Rowlet, and seeing Primarina, I was like, oh wow, that actually looks really nice. Everyone loves a Leaf Owl, of course. Standing by your 2674 from last stream. Alright, Brad, we're going to get to that one tonight, so we'll see. 2504 is your guess. I did see that, Nick. Thank you for reminding me now that we're actually through all the really, you know, tough, hard to focus on parts, like spelling my name. You picked Rowlet as your starter and named him Hoodlum. That's a pretty cool name. I like that name. It's kind of clever. I didn't name it because, like I said, I'm uncreative and like completely unimaginative, and I was like, Rowlet's fine. You always lose with Rowlet and Litten the starter, and I never had an issue. But again, like I said, I over-level like crazy. The only issue I really could see you having with... The only issue I really ever had with Rowlet was that, you know, the first Pokemon that I caught aside from Rowlet was like a Pick-a-Pack. So when Hal had a Pichu, he had... Basically until, like, past the first trial, I was completely weak to Electric. Yeah, the thing is, it's too weak. I'm not a very big competitive player, though, so to me it really didn't matter. I'm more of a collector, which is, you know, why I'm sitting here shiny hunting. Is it worth to buy the 3DS to play the news? I personally think it's worth. It really just depends on, like, your personal opinion, I guess, which doesn't help you with an answer. But a lot of people didn't like Sun and Moon because they were way more story-driven, and the newer games feel hand-holdy compared to the old ones. But personally, I just enjoy playing the new Pokemon games, and more Pokemon for me to hunt. So, for me, it was completely worth it. Pretty much the only thing I play on my 3DS now is Pokemon and the occasional, like, Hatsune Miku rhythm game. So, but for me, I still feel like it was a worthwhile purchase. Yeah, you'll love some. If you like storylines, you'll like it. A lot of people just wanted more play Pokemon. 3D is kind of useless. Yeah, 3D is definitely, if you just want to play Pokemon, you don't need to go for a 3DS. You can go for a 2DS or the new 2DS if you still want something that folds. Because most of the Pokemon games, like Gen 6 had certain spots you could use 3D in terms of overworld, and the battles were laggy if you turned on 3D. So Gen 7 literally doesn't use 3D at all. So you can just get a 2DS if you want it and save some money. Did I get the Shiny Treecko? Unfortunately, I haven't yet, so we're still going for the Shiny Treecko right now. I'm going to get it right here. We'll see, Hamza. We'll see. No DS for the next years. I mean, they're still making one more. They're still making Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And the Switch game's probably not going to be a year after that. Like, it takes them a little while to make a new generation, I think. I don't think they're going to make another game. I think there's going to be a 2-year gap. So I think personally, it's still worth it if you want to play like newer Pokemon games to get one. But that's just my personal opinion. It's completely depends on how much you want to play Pokemon and like what your budget is for this kind of stuff. Is this Shiny Treecko, which I'm totally going to get my first shiny? It's my first shiny on stream. I have like 92 shinies in Pokemon Sun, but I haven't streamed those. So, like this one's still special to me in its own way of being a first, because it'll be the first one I get on a stream. And it's the first one I've streamed any kind of hunt for. Watch out for a shiny Zigzagoon. See, being able, that's actually not as big of a deal in this game as it is in the other ones. Because in this game, Emerald has messed up RNG, where normally when you soft reset, there's a number that is randomly generated every time you soft reset, and it changes every single frame as a random number, but it changes in the same way. And in Emerald, that number is the same every time you soft reset, so it's the same every single frame. So this number is massive. It's not like anything like this, but even a number that's like 15, and then it becomes 13, and then 11, and then, you know, 17. It'll do that same exact pattern every time. And that number determines if a Pokemon's shiny. So if I get a shiny Zigzagoon, it just means I'm really close to getting a shiny Treecko. They informed that a mainstream game's coming to the Switch at E3. I know they did that, but they said it's in development. They didn't say, like, coming the year after Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. In development probably means they have to make an entire new engine for the Switch. Like, they can't bring over any of the old elements because it's a completely different thing. It's going to be a new UI because it's on a completely different type of system now. They have one screen again instead of two. So I think it's a little... I don't know if it's, like, going to be ready in 2 years. Or in a year and a half now. Yeah, they said they have a game in development. They just... I don't know how long that development's going to take. You wanted a Alolan Gengar. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if they're going to add one, though, because I personally think, like, when they mention new forms, they obviously mean the new Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma mix, but I think they also are going to have some Alolan, like, Gen 2 Pokemon, which means, you know, shiny... Like, they already did Gen 1. I don't know if they're going to make any more Gen 1 Pokemon into Alolan forms. That's why you don't like having it on the Switch. You don't have dual screens. I mean, the original Pokemon games, this one even, you know, it's single screen. They can do it just fine, I think. My biggest issue is the Switch's portability is still a thing, but my 3DS I can slide into my pocket with no hassle. The Switch, I'd feel nervous putting a Switch into my pocket with the Joy-Cons attached. Game Master Matt, yeah, I'm still going for that Treecko. Thanks for tuning back into the stream. Yeah, we've still been going. We're probably still gonna be going for a while, honestly. Like, I hope we get it soon, but the odds are 1 in over 8,000. So it's pretty unlikely that we'll get it any given time. But we'll get it at some point. We're gonna keep going until we do. You want way more ghost types? Yeah, I feel you. No Mega Pokemon are Alolan forms. Like, no Pokemon both have a Mega and an Alolan form? That's interesting. Alright, see you in a bit, Lester. Because Game Freak's lazy? Or oh, so no Megas have an Alolan Mega. I guess so, yeah. I don't necessarily know if it would be good if they did have them or not. I don't know. 25-28, we'll see, Hamza. Luigi bro, welcome back to the stream. Talking about Gen 2, do I play Pokemon? I played it when it came out, but it was having all those issues. And then they like removed the tracker and all that stuff. And it felt like it kept breaking the game more. So I stopped for a bit. Or stopped, like just in general I stopped. And what I've kind of stuck by is if they seem to have fixed most of the issues by the time they start adding Gen 3 Pokemon, I will look at the game again. Because Gen 3 Pokemon are like my favorite Pokemon. As a generation, they're my favorite Pokemon. So if they add Gen 3 Pokemon and they have, you know, battling and the gyms fixed, then I will, you know, consider getting back into it. Isn't Emerald broken because of the RNG for Shinies? Are you considering doing Ruby and Sapphire for one? You got yours in Ruby. Emerald is broken for Shinies, but it's that brokenness actually makes it easier once I get this Treecko. Getting this Treecko is way more difficult than any other game. But once I get the Treecko, there are ways to figure out what frames I get Shinies on. Because, yeah, normally when you soft reset, the seed for Shinies and the seed for the random number generator changes and is random. Or like it saves the last value from when you were hunting before you soft reset. Emerald starts over every time. So basically, if you don't have a shiny frame early on, you're not going to get a shiny early on ever. Unless you reset your save, which is what I've been doing. That's why I reset my save about every 50 encounters. So you think they'll be walking with... So do you think walking with Pokemon is going to be a thing? I don't know, maybe. I know some people found, like, walking animations for a lot of the Pokemon. So it's possible, but I'm not sure. I'd like it, but I'm not going to, like, overhype anything. Like, I don't want to speculate and then be way off. It better be. I wish it was. How am I? I'm doing good. How about you, Luigi, bro? Walking with Pokemon will return. I really hope so. It seems like there's evidence for it, but I don't want to be like, they're going to do it, and then them not do it, and then be disappointed. So I'm fine either way, but I would like for there to be walking with Pokemon. It helps with the frame when the bar drops in. I don't know if that's true, because it's completely random. But I'll look into it and see if that is an actual thing. But I know like if you catch a shiny, there's like sites that'll tell you this stuff. Like if you put in that shiny Pokemon's like, you know, ID value and your trainer ID, it does the math that is normally done for like determining if a Pokemon's going to be shiny. And it can tell you this frame and this frame and this frame give you shinies. Granted, I think it's like it's technically only an 1/8 of the frames that can be shiny because there's like 8 possible like values that can be shiny, and it's only finding that one over and over again. But it's still useful because it means like you can determine when it is, and if it's late enough or you have one late enough but not too late, you can like soft reset for legendaries, but the runaway method still works anyways. Pokemon Go is not in your area, so you can't really play. It's just random Pokemon. Oh, you mean like there aren't gyms or anything? Yeah, I know that's still an issue of like really, unless you're in a city, it's really hard to like find anything, because it's all based off of one of Niantic's old games, Ingress, which people put down places generally in cities, so like more rural areas don't have as many opportunities to do things like gyms or even Pokestops. Maybe a little Quagsire? Maybe. Oh, on the Emerald timing? Oh, still for the... Maybe. I'll look into it as far as that goes. It might be like, try to hit it at different points when the bar drops down, because that's when it generates the Pokemon. When you click on the bag, which I do believe is what happens. You're watching while eating dinner. That's pretty great, Lester. Thank you. Welcome back, Kareem. What was my favorite trial? Ooh, good one. So, not the first one. The first one was just kind of there. I'd probably have to go with Mallows in the Lush Jungle, because that was the only one to really give me a challenge. Like, most of them I just kind of breezed through, because I played the game super grindy and over level, but that Lurantis just was the toughest one, I think. So, yeah, for me, the Lurantis one, the Mallows trial with Lurantis is probably my favorite, just because it was the one that gave me a challenge. Game Master Matt, thank you for the sub. What's that noise in the background? I think our dishwasher or something's running. I really apologize. The plumbing runs right through the wall behind my computer for like everything out to the septic tank, so unfortunately that pops up. But if it's a fan noise, that's my computer, and I apologize for that, but I need to mess with mic settings for that. Pokemon Sun versus Pokemon Emerald. Sun. Sun's the game that I have the most time in. Emerald I like more for nostalgia reasons than anything. Javon, welcome to the stream. Team Aqua or Team Magma? Team Aqua, because aside from Emerald, I played Sapphire. Am I playing Emerald on my Game Boy? I'm playing it on a Game Boy player hooked up to a GameCube, so that's how I'm getting the capture for it. So I'm sitting here with a GameCube controller. So it is like a legitimate cartridge of Emerald, and I can trade these Pokemon up to like my copy of Sun. And that's the eventual goal, is to get them not to Sun, but to my copies of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Because I want the legendaries. I want shiny legendaries, and you can't get those in ORAS without events, which don't happen anymore. Omega Ruby versus Moon. That's kind of more of a tough one. I'd probably go with Omega Ruby, just because there's a lot more endgame stuff there. Granted, Sun is still my favorite game, so by correlation, like, Moon's pretty much the same game. It's just the cool factor of, like, you know, the, like, little gimmick of Moon being a different time of day is kind of weird. I play outside a bit, so it kind of messes with that. What's my favorite shiny? My favorite shiny is Shiny Milotic. Because I already like Milotic, and my favorite color is blue. So changing one of the major colors of Milotic to blue and adding that gold tail just looks so nice to me. You want a GameCube so you can do live shinies as well? Yeah, this actually isn't even mine. I'm borrowing it from one of my friends. Just because I wanted to, like, actually do a shiny hunt of some kind, and the capture card for this was like $30, because they sell those anywhere for VCR. Like, move your VCR tapes to, like, digital files. So they're like $30 to get those, and it's like $600 to get a, like, guaranteed good 3DS capture card. And I don't have that kind of money. Shiny! Yeah, that's about how I'm going to react when we get this shiny. Yours has to be the water one? That was a pretty fun one. It kind of showed you... I liked how that one kind of tried to introduce the mechanic of, like, the special fishing spots. And like, you can go up and click on these. They're still a normal fishing spot. Without adding another bit of hand-holdiness to the game. When do I think I'll get the Treecko? I'm not actually sure, Game Master Man. The odds are like 1 in 8,192, so the odds of getting it at any given time, if we get it anytime soon, we're still beating the odds. But I'm thinking somewhere between now and 4,000. Like, that's just my hunch. Flying with Mega Latios and Mega Everything versus Trials and Tapus and a useless legendary pre-evolution. I mean, in terms of like I do like a lot of the after game stuff in Oras better. It's just I loved the story of Sun and Moon so much. Like the actual like storyline was great. The Ultra Beast missions afterwards were okay, and then a lot of it just comes from I've been shiny hunting in that game for basically 8 months straight now. So I've built up a lot of like time in it, and to me it's just good. J-Lord, thank you for the sub, and welcome to the stream. Is this my original emerald? Because finding ones on eBay are mainly fake. Yeah, this is my original emerald that I like got for Christmas as a kid in I think like 3rd or 4th grade. Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan? Hitmonlee. Oh man, you got 2 Fate Gen 3 games. That's why when I try to find games, I try to do it like at conventions. It ends up being like a little bit more expensive, and I can only do it a couple times a year. But it's a lot easier to like make sure that they're legit because you can actually like hold them. That's where I got my yellow, platinum, and my Japanese leaf green. You think Magikarp's story was added to Cosmo? In a way, I can. That silly little Pokemon that just doesn't stay in the bag suddenly becomes this massive legendary, you know. It becomes Solgaleo or Lunala, and just becomes like the cover Pokemon, the cover legendary for the games. It's like I can see how that kind of similar to Magikarp and Gyarados. Yeah, Hamza, I think, like, I feel like most of the ones out there would be legit, but they're popular enough that fakes are a thing. And it's unfortunate. Like, you know, because you just want to get the game and then someone rips you off because, you know, they know you want the game. You would get games like Pawn Shop. Yeah, like, that's why I like going to conventions and finding booths and dealers that are selling, like, just video games. Because for the most part, like, they try to source them legit because that's how they make money, and getting a bad rap of they sold me fake games really isn't good for them. And also, like, a lot of times you'll be able to get hands-on with them. Maybe not, like, put them in your game and, you know, like, DS and play them, but, like, be able to get hands-on the game enough that, like, you can check and see, oh, is this, you know, printed on the wrong label or something like that. Cosmog is really just Magikarp's Alolan form. Yeah, Game Master, that's kind of where I was going with that, you know, being able to buy them in a shop and physically hold them. Second and Charles is nice. They have a lot of good stuff there. Like, I've gotten some manga from there, just because I couldn't find it anywhere else. And my girlfriend found it there one day and was like, "Do you want this?" I was like, "Sure, yeah." And it's nice because you get to put on. Gamer versus Gaming, can you get a shout out? There you go. Welcome to the stream. Pedro Games, welcome to the stream. Alright, see you in a bit, Game Master Matt. Planning for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon shiny hunting this October. Definitely going to be hunting. Hopefully I'll be able to stream it. I have to come up with the money to get a 3DS capture card by then. Which those things are expensive. But I'm definitely excited for them, and even if I can't stream it, I will definitely be hunting in them. Can you shiny hunt on emulators? Tyler, you can, unless someone, like, messes with the ROM that you use and makes it where you can't. If it's a straight, like, copy from a normal Emerald cartridge, which most of them would be, yes, you can hunt on an emulator. In fact, there are a lot of, like, ROM hacks out there that make it more likely for you to get shinies, and I don't know how you find those, but I know they exist. So it's definitely possible to hunt for shinies on emulators. For the most part, they act like a normal game. Sans, you're still saying 3,000. We'll see. Alright, see you later, Angel. Thanks for tuning into the stream. What if I find the shiny and I accidentally soft reset? That would... I would die a little bit inside, but it wouldn't be as bad in Emerald as most games. Because, like I've been saying, Emerald has messed up RNG. So, if I get a shiny Treecko and I don't reset my save, which, you know, for the most part, I should realize early enough so I don't reset my save. If I do my inputs with the exact same timing again, down to, like, you know, the 60th of a second, I can get the shiny Treecko again. Eduardo Red, welcome to the stream. Alright, so about 5 more here before I reset the save again. Did I see Adri's shiny hunt for Palkia? He got on his first... I didn't. I'll have to go look at it. I don't follow many shiny hunters. I like only follow one in terms of watching their streams live, and that's Stan with Random Tens. But yeah, I'll definitely have to go look at that, see if he gets it, because it was insane. Stan on Random Tens, he also got a shiny Psyduck on his first like Horde encounter. He was still setting up the stream, was just like, let's make sure this works, and then he had a Psyduck. You found a shiny Porygon in a ROM for free and hashed 1,000 eggs for a start. Yeah, I don't know. Because you can hatch... I've done way more than 1,000 for Treecko and still haven't got it. But fake or real's really hard to tell with ROMs. TNTG, you have 1 shiny. Cool. That's awesome. That's more than most people. But yeah, ROMs, it's like... Fake versus real is really hard to tell because someone can modify the ROM before they, you know, post it online. Fake or real, I think most people talk about more like the physical cartridges because someone could take the actual like game out of the case for an Emerald and put it in a different one and put it in a different cartridge. Basically, you know, they could load like Super Mario Pinball Land and put the circuit board in an Emerald cartridge and sell it to you as Emerald. And then when you boot it up, you're playing pinball and going, what the heck is this? Playing Pokemon and watching Pokemon streams is fun. I agree, Hamza. That's what... Either I'm like watching someone else shiny hunt, or I'm watching like Netflix or something when I'm shiny hunting myself, generally. Found a shiny Golbat once in Cruel Gate. Oh no, James! That is awful. That's why False Swipe is my best friend. You know, as soon as a shiny comes out, I make sure that I only ever touch it with False Swipe or a status move. Nothing that can hurt it. You deleted your game with your first shiny. Oh man, Kareem. You see, the thing is, I feel like before I knew what shinies were, like back when I first got into it, I could have encountered one and just gone, this is a special colored Pokemon. I'll probably run into more of these. Does this one give me like more experience points? And then just, sorry, there was a bug, and just like immediately KO'd it, expecting to like level up faster. You're all cheering me on, sweetheart. Thank you, Queen. Yeah, I would feel so bad if I crit hit a shiny like that, man. I don't even know how you feel, just like, it's never happened to me, and I really hope it never does. Alright, here's our last one before we reset the save again. And unfortunately, it was not a shiny, so we're going to go ahead here and reset the save one last time. Or not one last time, but one more time. In my first ORS file, found a shiny Latias randomly out of the blue and was so surprised it threw a Master Ball. Yeah, see, that is what my immediate reaction would be with a random legendary, would be like, catch this thing. Normally I like to catch things in like regular Pokeballs, which is a horrible idea when it comes to shinies because it does not catch in terms of legendaries. But I haven't hunted any legendaries because the games I've hunted in have had almost all of them be shiny locked. So I haven't done any legendary hunts. I'd want to catch them in a Pokeball, but like if I ran into them and I had no way to false swipe, no way to status effect, I'd just be like, let's catch it. Throw whatever the highest catch rate Pokeball I have is. If it's a Master Ball, sure. It was training, it popped up. It was, that's how I've caught two as like completely random shinies. It was a Pikipek and a Golduck. The Pikipek, I was trying to start like a hunt for a Yungoos, and it just popped up. And then the Golduck, I was doing the same. I was like training a Pokemon. I was just trying to level it up and get it to evolve because it was another shiny. And a Golduck it was a Sandygast. I was trying to evolve my Sandygast into a Palisand, and a random shiny Golduck just popped up, and I was like, oh, hello. And thankfully, both of those times, it was right before and right after a shiny hunt, so I still had my like whole hunting team on me. I better catch the shiny by the time you finish that bubble tea. It better be a really big bubble tea, and you better be sipping very slowly. Does chain fishing work with the old rod and fire? There's no chaining before Gen 4. Of any kind. You named your female Salandit right now Glitz Glame. Alright, Chikorita, that's nice that you at least have a female one, because, you know, they don't evolve if they're male. Which is a nightmare as a shiny hunter, because when I go after a Salandit, it's going to be like, you know, if I catch two males, I still have to keep going until I catch one that's female. Sorry guys, my nose is itching. Have I hatched eggs for days and days in Pokemon X? I haven't done it in X. I have done it in Sun, though. In Pokemon Sun, it took me like... Because I'm trying to get a living shiny dex in Sun, so I had to catch, you know... When it came to Rowlet, I had to get 3 so I could have a Rowlet, a Dartrix, and a Decidueye. So, it took me like 3 days of hatching eggs to get my first shiny Rowlet. And then it took like another day to get the other 2. So I spent a good time hunting, or doing that. Same thing with Litten and Poplio. And I actually got Minior in like an hour. So, it's random. There are days, it took me a week to get a Yungoos. Because it was my second longest chain now, next to this one. And that was a like 1600 chain. Nowadays, shinies are common when you hunt online. Yeah, because either, like, you know, you can generally breed really decent shinies. And you can also, a lot of people just gem them. Because they can make them perfect IDs, perfect nature, and shiny. And, you know, just choose those things. It was easier to hatch 1,000 eggs than to find a Feebas in Diamond. I get you, in Diamond. I get you. Yeah. Yeah, if there was a Pokemon that like you couldn't chain it, and yeah, it's super rare to find, it's just easier to hatch eggs. I try to catch as many as I can in the wild, but even things like in Sun, I hatched Wimpod. Just because there's no way to do it besides soft resetting. And I didn't really want to do that. I'd rather just keep better odds of Masuda method. I hit no. No. But yeah, there are definitely times it's easier to like not do chaining and hatch eggs instead. Especially if you can use Masuda method. Did I watch Dragon Ball Super? I haven't watched any Dragon Ball. Do I have just a shiny team? I don't like as in terms of like my shiny team that I call like anything close to a shiny team is my shiny hunting team, which isn't shiny at all. It's just the Pokemon I ended the game with and was able to give moves that are good for shiny hunting. For the most part, that's just a Decidueye with False Swipe. I don't actually have like a full shiny competitive team because I'm not really a competitive player. I'm more of a collector. Welcome back, Game Master Matt. Oh, meant shiny hatching another Pokemon than finding a normal Feebas. It feels like that. It can feel like that, especially with how bad Feebas was before, like in the original games. Am I doing a badge quest? I haven't really decided. I might. I'd consider doing it where I play most of the time, or like, I do a Let's Play and like possibly do a shiny badge quest and live stream all the shiny hunts, but then pre-record and like do a Let's Play with the rest of it. Welcome back, Lester. Shedinja's a god, using it for hunts, nothing kills it. Yeah, because Shedinja you can like set up in a way, I think. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but like you can set it up in a way where like, you know, it has sturdy. Basically you give it sturdy and then it can't be killed. The area for hunting Feebas and Diamond and Pearl is smaller than Hoenn. Man, that sucks. Shiny hunting team in Emerald? I don't have one yet. Because, you know, this is the start of it. My shiny hunting team's in Sun, because that's where I do most of my hunting. It's just I can't stream that yet, because I don't have a 3DS capture card. But yeah, so plans, like, after I get this Treecko will be to do a Let's Play, possibly shiny badge quest, and other, like shiny hunting in that for Emerald, as well as I have a copy of Leaf Green that I can use to soft reset for a Kanto starter. Oh, all the attacks miss it. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't know most of that kind of stuff. Like, for me, once I catch a Pokemon, I've got the Pokemon. You have 2 shinies on your badge quest, and you're trying to get a Shroomish or Slackoth and Pelipper. Alright, cool, Game Master Matt. Cool. It's nearly impossible to create a team. You just use 99, like as many Ultra Balls as you can, and a Paralysis. Yeah, that's pretty much what you have to do. It's just, you know, a shiny hunting team is something that has like False Swipe and, you know, Stun Spore. Oh, so it's easier in Sinnoh. Oh, yeah, because it's not... It can't be in as many different places. I get that. I get you. I get you. Stay shiny 10 times fast. Shiny, 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 shiny. There you go. Oh, can you not do it? I guess I've just said shiny so many times that like, it's just natural. Just mutter it in my sleep. Say it under my breath constantly. The Human Pokedex, welcome to the stream. The Human Pokedex, thank you for the sub. Bernie Niemeyer, thank you for the sub. Subs going up and up, yeah. I'm happy with it. I'm still as surprised anyone subbed, honestly. I just do this because I like to, like, you know, shiny hunt, and figured I may as well at least stream it so like friends could watch or something, and then it started getting popular. What's my shiny team going to be? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I haven't thought much past getting Treecko. Right now, that's my one goal. Then I gotta actually start thinking strategy, because I can't just catch everything in the wild if it has to be shiny. Oh, that's what you're doing in Ruby right now? Alright. Yeah, you're doing it in Ruby, so you've got full odds like every time you hunt for something. You like the bike in the background. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a really old road bike I have, and it's like hooked up to one of those like stationary trainers. And it'd just take up too much room unless I stuck it in the corner like that. Uh-oh. Don't know what happened there, but the counter's back. It just disappeared for a second. I was like, it's a pimpin' bike. Thank you. An old 1985 Trek 660. It's all steel, and it was actually like my neighbor's. And it was just sitting in a warehouse that they have, and they knew I liked riding bikes. And they're like, "Hey, Ian, we have this bike that's for like tall people. And do you want it? Like, do you want to come look at it and see if you want to buy it?" And you know, they couldn't ride it. They were at least, you know, 1.5 feet too short to ride it. And so I said sure, and then they sold it to me for like super cheap, and it's really nice, especially for being, what is it, like 32 years old now. When's my next live stream? Choose my next live stream. Unless something comes up, my next live stream will be on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. I try to stream every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. But if something happens and I can't, if I know about it before, like the stream beforehand, like if I knew about something coming up, which right now I don't, if I knew about something, I would mention it this stream. But if something comes up between this stream and next, I will mention it in the Discord, which the server is linked in the description below. 2573. We'll see, Hamza. Two more to go for that. Do I have a friend code? I don't have my 3DS on me right now, so I can't even. I don't know what my friend code is off the top of my head. I'll think about posting it. I don't know. I might post it, but I don't really do anything in terms of friend codes. Like, I can post it, like, next stream if someone reminds me. But, like, my 3DS is, like, nowhere near me right now. Thinking about it, I may have actually left it at work today. Which would be awful. Do I like the newer 3D shiny Pokemon or the older ones? You like the older ones because they're more rare and hard to get. Well, I mean, I could move this shiny up to the new games and it would be in 3D. Personally, I started shiny hunting with all of the chaining methods, so to me, like, them being easier to get isn't a big deal. But I do agree that, like, it's more it'll be so much more satisfying to get this Treecko because of how hard it is and how much rarer it is to have one. So to me, I like the 3D models better, but it'll definitely be like a trophy in its own right to have this one moved up to a new game. You know, to have a Treecko that I can point at and go, I caught this in Emerald at full odds. So it does add a lot more rarity and, like, prestige to having it, I think. And I'm, like, so impressed with the people who, like, catch multiple shinies in early games. Because I have, you know, 92 in Sun, but how many of those would I have had if there was no way to actually chain for Pokemon? I don't even know if I would have gotten into it. I think at the beginning of that threshold of, like, you can force a shiny to appear, essentially force a shiny to appear with the chaining, was enough for me to go, okay, I can do this. But if it was, oh yeah, run around in the grass, they lowered the odds to 1 in 4,000 instead of 8,000, I'd still be like, nah, I'm good. So I appreciate them adding all the different ways to chain him and stuff, just because it makes it more accessible to more people, and more people can enjoy shiny hunting themselves. Because there's actually a way to hunt versus just run around and hope you find them. Some people just hack the shinies. Yeah, that is a big issue. Matu Su, Spanish? I do not speak Spanish. Yeah, some people just hack the shinies. Yeah, that's why I avoid getting shinies through, like, GTS. Just because you don't know if they're legit. They may look perfectly legit. They may be possible to get legit. But there's a chance that they're just gen. And you can't say for certain a lot of the times. So as long as I can avoid it, I've been hunting myself. And catching all of them. Because I also like having them all have me as an original trainer. We're getting pretty close to 2,600 here, which will put us at 1,000 past my second longest shiny hunt. Which is insane to me still. Oh, you see. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like a hot topic, I think. Like, a lot of people are like, you know, oh, I can just gen them because, you know, it saves time. I could have gotten them in the wild anyway. But then a lot of people, including myself, like, I don't necessarily mind if you gen it, but it's not the same. You know? I've spent 800 hours catching shinies when I could have made, you know, I could have made these 90 not caring about IVs or anything in, like, an hour and a half. Hackers just like, Yeah, I mean, a lot of people make the argument of, oh, I just don't have the time, and it's like, but these other people did spend their time and chose to do this with their time. And, you know, I get it. I work, I understand that other people work and just don't have the time of day to do it. But it just still kind of feels a little cheaty to me. What's the fastest I've ever found a shiny? So if we leave out me, I've random encountered 2 shinies, and a Kangaskhan randomly appeared in one encounter, which I wasn't even hunting for a Kangaskhan. I was just trying to catch a Cubone, and a shiny Kangaskhan drop. So excluding those 3 random encounters, the quickest I have gotten a shiny in a chain was in 32 encounters. It was a Yungoos, which was kind of funny because the chain before that was another Yungoos that is the one I mentioned that took 1,600 plus encounters. At least you can't use Gen Pokemon on online ladder or local tournaments. I thought most of the time they were able to check, like they were able to kind of pass those checks. Hack shinies and newer gen shinies aren't as valuable as old and legit ones. Same mini boss. Like, personally, I don't have an issue with the newer Pokemon and the way that you can chain for them, because that's how I've done most of mine. And to me, that's fine. Like, it's just a different way. It's still hard to get them. It's still, you know, I'm gonna pass 1,000 hours if I want to do what I want to do. But like I said, it feels a lot more prestigious to have a like. It's gonna be so cool to be like, I have a shiny Treecko that I got in the original Emerald game. That Kangaskhan though, yeah. I mean, I was just trying to complete my like standard living decks. And I was like, oh, I need a Cubone. I have a Marowak, and I went to go for the Cubone, and I like false swiped it and threw a Pokeball. It busted out of the Pokeball, called for help, and a Kangaskhan dropped in, and I looked at it and I was like, I'm mistaking this for a shiny, aren't I? And was just staring at it until a little sparkle appeared, and I was like, holy crap. I need to catch this right now. It's fun shiny hunting on your Game Boy and watching me. Thanks, James. That's actually kind of how I ended up getting into shiny hunt, or into considering streaming. I wanted something to like pay attention to while I was shiny hunting on my 3DS, and came across Random Tens and started watching his shiny hunting streams. And just, you know, a few months later, I was like, you know, I could probably try to do this, and decided to start this stream. Sorry if I keep scratching my nose, guys. The air down here is like really dry. And every time I talk, it vibrates and like tickles my nose. Good luck. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, you're going for a Mudkip, James. All right. Just beat Misty. Congrats, Hamza. Oh, I was going to click that Torchic and it was going to be shiny. Oh, don't read your surname? Sorry. Oh, don't read your surname. I thought, yeah, I read that wrong. Well, yeah, to be fair, I wasn't really gonna try. I'm terrible with names, even like fairly normal names. Alright guys, we're coming up on 2,600 here pretty quick. Yeah, I definitely liked the Gen 1 remakes. My first game was Fire Red, and even though I lost it, I do have a Japanese copy of Leaf Green. Can't wait to get a shiny and Petalburg game estimate. Alright. Your first game was Emerald. Yeah, Emerald is my second game. And it's the first one that I like really have many memories of. How long's the stream going to be, Lester? So I generally go for about 3 hours, and we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here. So we're probably going to be going for about another hour. unless we get the shiny, in which case I'm probably going to call the stream for the night. But if we get the shiny, we'll mess around with it a bit, no matter how close to the end of the stream it happens. So yeah, there's still about an hour left. Alright, so you're guessing 2601. We'll see. We're about pretty close here to resetting the save. Got a 4 or 5 more here, depending on if I ramble through the reset or not. You hope I don't get a shiny uncatchable Zigzagoon. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get it, but if, like I've been saying, if I get it, it's not the end of the world. Just means I have to change up my timing. Oh man, you got 2 Poochyena when you were hunting for Treecko? That sucks. Because your games are like truly random, so those are just, oh, you were close to a shiny. Oh well, keep going. Lester, you're saying 3,000. Okay. We're probably not going to get that far tonight, but I will keep that in mind for probably next stream, actually. We're probably going to end up on 3,000 by the end of next stream. It'll be 3,000 or 2,900. We'll see, Sans. We'll see. We're probably going to get to about... We're probably going to get somewhere close to 2,700 tonight. Because we seem to be in a pattern of about 300 every stream. Because I can reset and get one anywhere from like 30 to 45 seconds. But then you got to add in resetting the entire save every 50, which takes a good bit of time. Still not shiny. Yeah, Andrea, it's not great, but I expected it when I went into it. And if we get it anytime soon, we still beat the odds. The odds in Emerald are 1 in 8,000 pretty much. So, like, you know, it's not unexpected to see this kind of number. I've actually seen, like, streamers go up to, 40,000 and still not gotten shinies. Thank you, Lester. I appreciate it. Alright guys, so we are going to reset the save yet again. Took you reinserting a pearl 4 times in your 3DS to read it. Dude, when I bought that cartridge of a Platinum and it didn't immediately recognize... Oh no, I hit the button. We're gonna need one more. Like I said, ramble through it. That's my B. But yeah. Yeah, new game mini boss. I meant to hit it, but accidentally clicked. Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, like when I bought that cartridge of Platinum, I bought a cartridge of Platinum and it had dirt on it. Like it had dirt on all the connectors, and I stuck it in and it didn't recognize the cartridge at all. Like it didn't even say no unrecognizable cartridge, it just didn't read anything. That was scary, but what was scarier was I was hanging out with some friends, and we were at a restaurant and I had my 3DS in my pocket. My 3DS slipped out, hit the ground, and shot my cartridge of the Sun out. And it didn't recognize me putting it back in for like 30 seconds of it sitting there. And I was just about to like die on the inside because that would have been 800 hours and 92 shinies just gone. Alright, Hamza. See you in a bit. Thank you, Andrea. Yeah, get hyped for the shiny. Yeah, it's gonna be so hyped when we get it. This is gonna be, like I said, I've caught a lot of shinies before, and it kind of just became routine. But like, this is the first one I've streamed, and it's, you know, the longest one that I've had ever. So it's gonna be really exciting when I get it. Did I like the black and white games because you hate it? I haven't played black and white because Gen 5 happened in this in my phase in middle school and high school where I didn't ever play Pokemon. Like I played Pearl, but then partially because my DS broke and because I was just not motivated to fix it because I was like, oh, Pokemon's for little kids. I didn't play Gen 5. I didn't get back into it until a couple of years ago when I picked up a copy of Alpha Sapphire. Yeah, see, this is what I always hear, is like, a lot of people are like, oh, I hate black and white. And then there are other people who loved it. Black and White 2 were the best, but then Lily happened. Yeah, see, like that's where I think a lot of people have like the split is some people really don't like Pokemon having major storylines in them and just want to play Pokemon. But I like that, which is why like I love Sun and Moon so much, because they're the biggest stories in a Pokemon game I've played. Yeah, a lot of the Gen 5 Pokemon I think caught flack because like they redid the entire Pokedex. They didn't want to have the same Pokemon as before again at all. Which I think they went a little overboard on, but it's kind of interesting, you know, seeing them try to refresh everything. But I guess they ran out of ideas because they were already, like, I think low on them. And then they had to make an entire Pokedex worth, so... I can see where, you know, they come up with things like Trubbish and Garbodor. You ran out of tea. I said to drink really slowly, Brad. What about Magnetron and Electrode? Yeah, see, here's like the thing, is people are like, oh, these Pokemon are weird, they don't even look like animals. But there are a lot that don't look like them before, too. It's just, there's nostalgia for people for the old ones. You know, a lot of people, it's like, the newer ones are just not the same as Gen 1, basically. Which is a valid argument in a sense. I guess that's right, Brad. The fact that you didn't finish it before you typed out that message, yeah. They don't even look like Pokemon. Yeah, that one's always like, yeah, what is a Pokemon? It's this. This is a Pokemon. By definition, it looks like a Pokemon. Laz's Gamer, welcome to the stream. Alright, again, just for anyone who's tuned in recently to the stream and hasn't heard, there's a link to a Discord in the description where anyone who wants to chat outside of these streams is welcome to join and do so. Yes, like I said, it's a link in the description, and if one of the mods can post that link in the chat, just because I'm playing and only mods or me can post things that are links. Hunting and Shiny Treecko, yes I am Laz's Gamer, and thank you for good luck. Trubbish is cool, better than Electrode and Grime. It's just all personal opinion, I think, because they have the same issue of like, it's just this weird thing, but one's Gen 1 and has been around for 20 years now, And there are people who are alive who had never seen any, who, like, that's always been a Pokemon. Yep, so, IndieNet just posted it. If anyone is interested in joining the Discord, the link is there in the chat. And Laz's Gamer, thank you for the sub. You feel like the best gens for Pokemon were 1 through 4 and then this became meh. See, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people, that happens, and, you know, it's because, like, you know, for me, Gen 3 is one of the best gens, just because that's the first one I played. And it's a matter of what I'm used to is good, what's different is bad, and it's not, like, necessarily a bad, it's not, like, you know, bad that you, like, people think that or whatnot. But, like, personally, I love Gen 7, because it got me back into Pokemon. And it's just, it's personal opinion, you know. Yeah, don't care about the design, you just play for fun. Yeah, I'll collect anything. You can make a Pokemon literally like a shoelace. And I'd be like, okay. They made a Pokemon Keys. I caught that. Gen 1 had the best Pokemon in your opinion? A lot of the, obviously there are the iconic designs. And a lot of the best ones did come there because, you know, what I really do like the Pokemon. I think that it doesn't look like Pokemon are the ones that, you know, look like an obviously something else. You know, if you look at Bulbasaur, what does it really look like besides Bulbasaur? But it still doesn't look weird. And that's kind of where I think the doesn't look like Pokemon thing comes in. But that's because at that point, Game Freak had no restrictions on ideas. Whatever they wanted hadn't been done before. It's a matter of which game you play first. Pretty much Game Master. Gen 5's your favorite? I mean, yeah, everyone can have their favorite game engine. Like, I know a lot of people who, like, think Sun and Moon are awful. They're too hand-holdy. All this stuff. Gen 7's still my favorite games. Same Moose Milk? There you go. Gen 1 and 3 are the best. Right, Gen 3 and 7 are the best in my opinion. Like, Gen 1's just kind of slow when you play it. Playing through it is in Gen 3, it's great. But playing through it in Gen 1, you can crash the game in the PC. Charizard is trash. Whoa there. I mean, I always choose Blastoise, but about to start a flame war up in here. Mostly because of Charizard, mostly because of Gengar and Charizard. Gengar's good. I like Mega Gengar, especially in terms of being a shiny hunter. Mega Gengar's great. Yeah, Gen 3's your favorite, but Sapphire's also the first game. That's why, you know, when I say, like, you know, when people ask what's my favorite gen, I explain, like, Gen 7's my favorite because of the story, and I like the Pokemon and all this, but Gen 3 always has that special place, first games. Charizard is literally lit. Your first game was Diamond, but fell in love with Black and White 2 because of Richmond? Yeah, that's what I think. I don't even think it's necessarily what's the first game you play, but it's like, what games do you play while it's still fresh? And, you know, for me, like, Gen 4 was great because, whoa, it's Pokemon, but now it's on the DS and it had all these extra things. So, like, I think the generation after you start is kind of like, wow, it's what I liked, but with more. And then they start adding more and more things to the point that it's so different. Like, I think that's kind of where a lot of people go, eh. Your favorite's Gen 3 too? Your first game was Omega Ruby? Okay, Jessica, yeah. Yeah, like, that's where I also make the specification of, like, Hoenn my favorite region. Because between Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and then Oras, favorite set of games is our region. Because partially nostalgia, partially Alpha Sapphire is the first Pokemon I got once I got my 3DS. So, like, it got me into Pokemon, and then it got me back into Pokemon. So, in general, like, Hoenn has a lot of memories for me. So, yeah. Charizard's your favorite Pokemon? Okay, Doge. Alright. Personally, my favorite Pokemon is Rowlet, so, I mean, a lot of people might argue, oh, Charizard's so cliche, but, like, I mean, Rowlet's actually pretty much like that, too, but I don't care. My favorite. You do you, I do me. That's kind of how I feel. I love Hoenn, too. Like, you know, just everything about Hoenn was so great, and because I played, like, Fire Red first, and then immediately played Gen 3, or, like, Emerald, it was still, like, a first Pokemon game, basically, but it felt like it had so many new things, because, you know, I didn't watch the anime, like, religiously as a kid, but I saw stuff in it, And this is before, like, Hoenn and all that. So it's like, wow, it's all these new fancy things on top of this other great game. Gen 3 Legendaries have the best background story. Yeah, I actually agree with that one. Because yeah, before that, they were just kind of tacked in there. Gen 2 is a little bit different, but like, Gen 1, Mew and Mewtwo had a bit of a story, but like, the legendary birds were just there. But then you get to like Gen 4 and beyond, and suddenly these legendary Pokemon were like gods almost. And while it's still fun, that's still cool, it makes the story more like dramatic. It's like different when you're, you know, you've got a Pokemon, like a water type Pokemon that wants to, you know, make the whole world a sea, and you have a fire, like a fire earth Pokemon that wants to make volcanoes spread land everywhere, versus this Pokemon controls time and this one controls space. Like, it's kind of different, and I like, Gen 3 Legendaries are definitely my favorite Legendaries in terms of design as well as backstory. Treecko's best Gen 3 starter? Agreed, Doge. Agreed. Your favorite Pokemon is Absol. Absol's pretty awesome. That was probably my favorite Pokemon when I was playing through Gen 3. Alright, see you, Doge. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Only bad thing about older gens were the events most people couldn't access. Agreed. Like, that's what kind of sucks. Even with like Gen 6 nowadays, it's like, unless you have the games as they happen, then you kind of miss out on the events, and when there's a Pokemon that's locked to an event, it sucks. You know, like, I don't have a Jirachi because there hasn't been a Jirachi event since I played the games. Oh, Doge, I didn't see that you were, I didn't see you were responding. I didn't see the other message. Sorry about that. Yeah, Doge wasn't leaving, Jessica. That was my bad. That was my bad. No, I said bye. Leave now. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, I was talking and the messages went by, and then I saw you say, oh, bye, and then everyone was saying bye, so I thought they were responding to you, and not you responding to the same person they were. Deoxys is literally a Terminator? Yeah. Torchic is the best for you? Yeah, I never, like, really chose fire starters, though. Like, I don't know why, but I never, like, they always seem so popular, and I was like, I'm going to be a little bit different. So I'll choose, you know, water, because it beats fire. And then, later I said, nah, Treecko's great, and, like, I chose Squirtle because of that logic, and then I was like, Treecko's awesome, I'm choosing Treecko. And also, part of that was, I think I chose Mudkip for, like, my first play, but then I chose Treecko after that because I realized Mudkip was super weak to Treecko. Oh, so you played your first game. Okay. Yeah, I played my first game when I was, like, 8 or 9, and didn't get back into it again until I was, like, 18. Fire types are lit. They are very lit. Kind of their whole thing. You choose the grass. And I generally choose grass or water. Because, you know, my most played game has Roxanne as the first gym leader, so having that advantage at the beginning was always nice. Person just starting Pokemon. What kind of Pikachu is this? A water kind of Pikachu. A surfing Pikachu, there you go. You think Deoxys is secretly Arnold Schwarzenegger? Maybe. I don't know, maybe he's the newer Terminators. He can change form. Fire starters are more popular for some reason. I think it has to do with fire and red, and like 9-year-old boys liking fire and red. I think that's kind of the... And like the reason, you know, you can say, oh, older people, but, you know, when they're older, they already chose Charizard as their favorite starter, so they're going to keep choosing fire. Like, I think that's kind of what happens. And, you know, you have things like Charizard and Blaziken. You have these, like, super popular Pokemon and pretty decent Pokemon, and people are just going to keep choosing that. Torchic was cool because firefighting, and then that starter type combo got overused. Yeah, like I never really noticed that because I kind of fell out of the games and didn't pay attention to like, that kind of stuff a lot. But I noticed a lot of people like really nervous with Litton's evolution line. You don't know, but you always choose grass starters. Yeah, see, I tend to choose grass starters now when I play. I think everyone just kind of develops a preference over time, and eventually that has a bigger effect on like your decision making than like actual looks and stuff. It's just like, it's grass. I've always chosen grass. Let's choose grass. Yeah. Yeah, Mudkip is best because Water Earth equals only one weakness, but 4 times weakness. That was my issue. Was there like dreaded battles with your rival in Hoenn that you just run into when you play and you forget about them. And you're just like, I don't know how to do this one. I always leveled up my starter a bit more than the other ones just because that's what always happened. And it was like, oh, she can crush me even if she's like 5 levels below me. Well, this is awful. Like that's kind of that was why I switched to Treecko, on top of it being an awesome lizard. Who do I like better, Kyogre or Groudon? Kyogre. Ritropo Martinez, welcome to the stream. Ricardo, welcome to the stream. All the talking before you can do the sword. Yeah, that's where Random Tens was doing a Piplup hunt, and he had to just stop because he basically said he was stopping until he could like get a second capture card into it twice as fast because it's awful sitting through that animation compared to spam A to enter the bag. Rowlet's actually pretty good as a starter. Yeah, like as soon as I saw the designs and stuff, I knew I was picking it no matter what any other strategic thing. I was like, I'm picking Rowlet. If you put a lettuce next to Mudkip, it can't walk through the grass on its own. If it gets cut by a single blade of grass, you have to go to a Pokemon Center stat. Water types are generally, yeah. Yeah, I mean, but, you know, 4-time weakness and all. Like, that was my one issue, is whenever I end up going up against, like, a Grovyle with it. It was like, crap. Unfortunately, Mudkip.exe has stopped working. Yeah, like, yeah, that's what we're saying. Is like, it doesn't have weaknesses except for its one massive weakness. It's like the Death Star of Pokemon. Oh, it's fine if you hit it anywhere except this one spot, and then it just explodes. What's up, Shasakur? Jason here. I forgot how else you want me to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. And I know I butchered it because I said like half of it and then stopped. God forbid the grass Pokemon. Owen, isn't Emerald weird about shinies? Yes, it is, and we've actually been counteracting that. So basically, yeah, Emerald's weird because when you soft reset, the seed that it saves for random number generation is the same every time. Normally it like randomizes it or it saves the last one that happened in the game, but no, Emerald's the same like shiny frames every time you start. So the way that I counteract that is I restart my save every 50 or so, because it builds like the shiny frames and when they happen off of that number that normally changes but is weird in Emerald and your trainer ID. So when you change your trainer ID, it randomizes it again, like truly randomizes it. And so every 50 I do that. I do that because the game runs at 60 FPS and I'm generally hitting within a second, accuracy-wise. So it gives me a good chance of seeing a shiny Zigzagoon or Treecko, because in this case a Zigzagoon would be good because it means I have a shiny frame. So yeah, Emerald's weird about it, but it only really sucks for this first hunt. After this first hunt, I can basically predict when I'm going to get shinies. You have a Swampert and it's a total beast. Yeah, Kareem, like, it's great. It's just, except in rival battles, because then your rival has a Treecko or a Grovyle or a Sceptile, which is the one thing you're weak to, and super weak to at that. The Treecko is still elusive, yes, very elusive. But I knew that when I was getting into it. Like, I'm expecting this thing to go on for a lot longer. But if we get it now, that would be awesome. It's hilarious when kids rage when Sceptile Mega evolves, since it's not weak to fire when they send out Charizard. You see, I don't really follow most of the competitive stuff. Like, I honestly had to think there and go, oh yeah, it gains a type. When you first played Omega Ruby, oh, I think I just missed a sub. Jose Mathis, thank you for the sub. Sorry, I was looking at the chat there and not the stream. But when you first played Omega Ruby, you were telling, of course, you choose a fire star. Yeah, that's my thing. Is a lot of like kids pick the fire starters, and also Torchic. Like, I can see Torchic. Torchic, it's a little chicken. It's kind of cute. Treecko's evolution chain is kind of bad on Gen 3 because of the physical and special attacks being dependent on its type. Yeah, well, it was grass that got messed up with that. No, it was like dark types that got really messed up with that, wasn't it? Do I like May compared to the other rivals? In terms of like legitimate rivals, yes, because like I have so much nostalgia for Hoenn. As, Emerald and Sapphire were some of my first games. Gen 3 as a whole was my first generation, and then I got back into the games with Alpha Sapphire. So, like, May has been, like, the rival for a lot of my Pokemon experience. And I guess, like, because I don't... Lily in Gen 7 is not really a rival, so, I like Lily a lot, but she's not a rival. So, yeah, May is my favorite rival, like, strictly rival. Sceptile is cool until it Mega Evolves and 4 times to Ice. Oh, Don't let your Mega Sceptile out of the Pokeball if it is winter. True. Do we realize if no one is guessing the number anymore, suppose no one gets any of the shiny Treecko? Well, you see the thing is, if no one guesses the number, it has a name. It's going to be named Corndog. It's just, like... The number guessing kind of is a thing, like, to fill in blank spaces and, like, lulls in conversation in the stream. Laura Sosa, welcome to the stream. Treecko's best starter in Gen 7, or in Gen 3, I don't know why I said 7. Agreed. Could I say something I think your son would laugh at? How old is your son to gauge the kind of humor that I'd be needing to say here? Silver's one of the best games for you. Okay. I still need to play a Gen 2 game, or a Johto game in general. Like, I didn't get into it early enough, and then I fell out of it right around the time they released the remakes. Absol's beastly attack stat, but Dark type is special. Yeah, see, that's what I always heard, is that Absol is the one that got screwed over. Yeah, Absol was one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen 3. Not many people have Ice types, true. Yeah, Ice type's still kind of rare, like, until you get to, like, the Elite Four, and it's like, oh yeah. I always remember, oh yeah, that's the thing. If I was a Pokemon, which Pokemon would I be? I might go with, like, Sudowoodo, just because it's kind of tall and lanky like me. Do I like Charmander? I like Charmander. I think that's actually what I'm going to be shiny hunting for next. Because I have a copy of Leaf Green that I'll be hunting in after this one. Never mind, just got puked on. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Meowth is free money. Yeah. True. True. You'd be an Altaria. Okay, Andrea. Okay. You'd be Mewtwo? Alright, Tyler. Alright. There's a man in Leaf Green who can give you a Magikarp early on. I should hunt for that. Yeah, get that golden Magikarp. I actually really like Magikarp shiny. And the only, like, issue that I think anyone really has with Gyarados is just that it's not rare. They give it out, basically. Have you ever played Pokemon Global Revolution? I have not, Kareem. What's up, Blazing Blaziken and Lover? Welcome to the stream. Will I hunt for Johto starters after completing the Dex and Emerald? Maybe. I need to get a copy of a game to hunt Johto starters in. Just because I don't have a copy of any Johto games. You're new here. Welcome to the stream. Which Pokemon's game's evil team leader do I like the most? I'm gonna go with Archie from Aqua, just because Sapphire, Emerald in my first game, so it's really the like memorable one for me. Wally and Emerald on your game got a shiny. Oh no! Oh, that's one of the worst uncatchable ones because it constantly reminds you of it. Like, hey, I got this. You couldn't catch it. Who's the best, Rayquaza shiny or Greninja? I'm gonna go with, Rayquaza. Can you get this Johto starters after, completing the Dex in Ruby or Sapphire? Can you? No, yeah, you can, can't you? Yeah, I might do that. I might be able to do that, yeah. Yeah, I forgot that you could do that in original Emerald. I knew Oras had that. I still want to see, because I know it's possible, for Wally to faint the Ralts. Do you remember when you chose your Torchic on Emerald and named it KFC? That's funny, actually. He's normally in the streams, but I think he's on with friends doing something else. Shadow Assassin got a shiny Torchic on an Emerald emulator and named it KFC Gold. Yeah, National Dex, though. I could probably figure out a way to get it. I know I need Fire Red, but I have one somewhere, and it would be a while, but it'll be a while anyways, because if I want to do multiple shiny hunts in Emerald before I get to having a National Dex anyways, it'll be a while, and I'll probably have gotten a chance to pick up some of the other Gen 3 games to complete it with. Yeah, I know the rarity is insane. Like, you literally have... He has to be hunting... He has to be trying to catch the Ralts with, like, a maxed out Zigzagoon that critical hits on a Ralts that has the worst stats ever. I can encounter Zigzagoon? Yes, I can. See you later, Kareem. Yeah, I know I can encounter shiny Zigzagoon, and in most cases that would be awful because it's uncatchable and it's just a shiny, and it's, like, laughs in your face that you were within, like, half a second of getting a shiny with your inputs. But with Emerald, that isn't actually a bad thing, because it means that I'm really close to the right frames for a shiny Treecko, and I just realized I need to reset my save again, so we're going to do that now. Funny, because you named your Tauros Arby's. Right. Yeah, alright. So what other fast food name could we name a Pokemon? Have I gotten Pokerus? I haven't actually gotten Pokerus, Jessica, and it's awesome that you got it. Your first shiny was a Dratini. That's awesome. My latest shiny was actually a Dratini. Because right now I'm going, in Sun, I'm going for the whole Dragonite line is shiny. And I have a Dragonair and a Dratini. So I just need one more to evolve into a Dragonite. You got a shiny Poochie? Oh no! Or did you get it while shiny hunting, or did you get it like as an actual catchable Pokemon? Because one way it's awesome, one way it's like the most unlucky thing that can happen. Bad but good. Oh, are you hunting an Emerald as well? Your first shiny with Spinda? That's good. I have a shiny Spinda as well. I actually really like it. It's kind of cool because, you know, on top of being shiny, every Spinda is pretty much unique. You got a shiny Poochyena and under 50 random encounters on Ruby. Nice. Oh, well, hunting for Torchic. Well, are you hunting in Emerald or are you hunting in like Ruby or Sapphire? Your first shiny is a Soul Rock. Awesome, Jessica. I want one of those because like it's weird how like they want you to have one in Sun and Moon, but you have to like trade it up from at least Oras. Sapphire. Oh no, that's awful. Because if it was Emerald, it'd be a good thing, like I mentioned, you know. It's just a sign that you don't need to reset your save anymore and you're really close. But, oh man, Sapphire, it's actually random. Oh no, Indy. That's awful. So it's like, oh, you can catch it, but you're going to have to not be able to ever save it. That's awful. RIP. You got a Cynical with Pokerus for your start. Awesome, Tyler. Oh, welcome to the stream, Pyrica. Your first shiny is a Froakie when breeding. Yeah, I originally tried to get a shiny Rowlet as my first one when breeding. But my first shiny ended up being a Ditto because what I decided to do, deciding not to do any research on this at all, I assumed if I got a shiny Ditto and bred that with a Decidueye, because one of the parents was shiny, it'd be more likely for it to be shiny, which isn't the case at all. And so, you know, I caught the shiny Ditto and then did research and learned what Masuda method was. It had the best nature too. That's awesome. Your Soul Rock is a random encounter. That's great as long as you can catch it. Because I'm always afraid I'm going to random encounter one when I like don't have a Pokeball or something like that. Oh man. Yeah, I ended up like, yeah, self-destruct. That would be awful with shiny hunting. That's why I have a shiny Golduck with Damp, or I have a Golduck with Damp in general. And I tried to get a Parasect with Damp, because if you get a Parasect, it can learn False Swipe and just be an overall shiny hunter for those types. Which I still need to do to get a, I guess, Geodude and stuff. But like, I ended up not going for random encountering Minior, just to avoid that. Your first shiny is a Growlithe. Awesome, Robot. You use Masuda method. I didn't use Masuda method to get the Ditto. I used SOS Chaining and Sun, but you know I ended up going and getting a Japanese Rowlet off of my copy of Moon. Like I just set up a save in Japanese and grabbed the Rowlet and traded it over so I could do it that way until I could get an actual like Japanese Ditto. But yeah, so like no, I like SOS hunted for the Ditto, got it, and then did my research into. A shiny parent doesn't actually help with breeding for shinies. Alright, see you in a bit, Tyler. Your first shiny was a Magikarp and Oras with a Fish Chain. Nice Blazing Blaziken. Oh no, you ran from a shiny Aipom? That's awful, man. Hey Eli, I want to try to keep the stream PG just because it's a Pokemon game and I want to keep the stream the same rating as the game we're playing. Your first shiny was a Rayquaza in Emerald. Nice, Bob Builder. That's part of why I want to why I'm playing in this game, just because you can't get the shinies in ORAS anymore because they're shiny locked. Welcome back, Tyler. You have a shiny Rayquaza and it looks dope in a Mega Evolution? Yeah! Yeah, that's... Like, I love the look of shiny Rayquaza, you know. I always say, like, black shinies generally look good, so it's kind of, like, lazy for Game Freak to use them. But that doesn't mean they don't look good. Like, they look great. And so having, like, a black Rayquaza would be awesome. And being able... I'm going to eventually trade it up, so I would be able to Mega Evolve it. You're all good, Augusto. Do I like Charizard X or Y? I don't actually have a preference because, to be honest, I don't have a Charizard. I don't remember which one's which. I'll be real. The chat's so multi-language. It really is, and it's been really interesting because it's weird. The first stream I did, the chat was entirely Spanish for like an hour. Like, I wasn't even able to understand the chat. There was one person in there who knew both and was just like kind of talking back and forth and joking. But for a while, there was a point where the entire chat was just Spanish. What was my first shiny Pokemon? It was a shiny Ditto in Pokemon Sun. You're trying to get your friend in stream, but he's saying he's sleepy? That's alright. Y ability is Drought, and you have to wait for someone. Okay, okay. It seems like the consensus in the chat is that Y is the better one. Oh, you speak Spanish, that's what this is very... Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people in here have been, you know... there have been people who have, like, apologized, like, sorry, my English isn't good, and it's like, it doesn't matter to me. It's kind of... It's interesting seeing, and it's kind of cool seeing all the different languages in the chat, and people being able to talk to each other. Yeah, you can get Pokerus on starters. It's really... It's not, you know... That's an exaggerated number, obviously, but it is insanely rare. It's way rarer than getting a shiny Pokemon. It's rarer than getting this shiny Treecko. Like, it's insane. It's like 1 in 27,000. It's gonna be 2683. All right, Dennis. We'll see. We'll see. I can one-shot Greninja with Fire type moves. That's pretty nice. That's actually pretty nice, yeah. Have I ever hunted an Emerald before and have ever got a shiny? I haven't hunted an Emerald before. Chirping Weasel, thank you for the sub. I haven't hunted an Emerald before, but I have gotten shinies before. I've hunted a lot in Pokemon Sun. I have 92 shinies in Sun, but I don't have any in this. I would be streaming like Pokemon Sun, but I don't have a 3DS capture card. So I decided I could stream this, and I wanted the legendaries in this as shinies, so I figured I might as well stream, have some fun, catch a shiny Treecko. You got Pokerus on a Whismer. Nice, Jessica. What would I do if I came across the uncatchable Zigzagoon before a shiny Treecko? It wouldn't actually be that bad in Emerald. Emerald has messed up RNG, so if I get a shiny Zigzagoon, I'd have to keep soft resetting, but it means I'm really close to getting a shiny Treecko. Because what frame the Pokemon is loaded on determines when if it's gonna be shiny or not. And Emerald has those same frames happen over and over again unless you reset your save. So if a Zigzagoon popped up shiny, it means that I have a frame to make I have a shiny frame, which is a frame that like generates a shiny Pokemon really early in the game. The Doge27, thank you for the sub. And so if a shiny Zigzagoon pops up, it means that I just have to change my input speeds and sit here a little bit longer to get the shiny Treecko. Is this a ROM or real copy? It is a real copy of the game. I'm playing on a Game Boy Player hooked up to a GameCube, and I'm just capturing the output of that to my computer. What's Pokerus' purpose? It helps train Pokemon. It raises the EVs faster. And there's a way where pretty much... Bob Builder, thank you for the sub. There's a way where pretty much once you get it, you have it. Like, you can move it between your Pokemon. At least I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think, like, if you sent the Pokerus into battle, it gives the wild Pokemon it. And then if you send your other Pokemon out, it gets it. Or they just get it from being in the same party. I think. I've never actually had Pokerus, and I haven't studied the mechanics too well. I just know it's contagious, though. You want a shiny Torchic because you love Blaziken. Yeah, that's why a lot of people have, like, said, like, Torchic's their favorite, is because Blaziken. And I get that. Blaziken's pretty OP, I think. At least certain versions of them were, for sure. Welcome back, Kareem! Oh, Pokerus healed the Pokemon? That's cool. I did not know that. What's contagious, dude? Shuckle? Shuckle's very contagious. You know, Shuckle's the Pokemon that can deal the most damage in a single move, right? Oh, really? Okay. I know taking them to a Pokemon Center doesn't remove it, because they, like, mention, hey, this Pokemon has, like, this disease. At least in the newer games, I know, you know, Pokerus stays, it goes away after a certain number of days of the Pokemon being out of the PC, but if it's in the PC, it stays. What Pokemon's overused, Doge? Ash Greninja? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't... I haven't seen it used, but I don't play competitively or, like, really play outside of single player at all, so I wouldn't know. What Pokemon has the least amount of followers on Twitter? Pseudo-Wudo, because he blocks them all. Heh. I like Shiny Treecko. Pokerus can disappear after the next day. Yeah, I don't know if it's the next day or like the next 3 days or something, but yeah. I don't. If the Pokemon's like left out of the PC, then it eventually goes away. But if you leave the Pokemon in the PC, it stays. It like kind of freezes it. When your Pokemon had Pokerus, you soft reset your game. Oh no, Kareem! Oh no! You heard I like meme kips. I do like memes, and I do like mudkips. So combining the two is just even better. Just stops being contagious. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, because it still leaves it. It leaves that mark on the Pokemon. It's just, you know, like X'd out. Is it still effective after those days, or is it marked like it had it? Tentacruel, Zubats, Larians in the Victory Road, and Hoenn, and roaming legendaries give you trouble. Yeah, I don't really want to go after a roaming legendary, to be completely honest. Like, in terms of shiny hunting especially. Because, like, you have to be prepared at all times, and then you just might not run into it, and then decide, I'm going to do this one thing real quick, and then it pops up. You have a question, am I getting Ultra Moon or Ultra Sun? I'm probably going to If I had to pick one, I'd get Ultra Sun. But I'm probably going to end up getting both. When you first played through Emerald, the part where you help Wally catch his Pokemon, it was shiny Ralts and you never saw it again. Oh no! Yeah, I mean, that Ralts is just a normal Ralts, and it can be shiny. And plenty of people have seen it. It's like, oh no, because suddenly, Kareem Warner, thank you for the sub. It's like, oh no, now Wally has the shiny that I could have caught. If you keep your Pokemon with Pokerus in the PC, it keeps it safe. Yeah, like, basically the Pokemon's frozen in the PC. You hate K's because of the Zubats? Yeah, agreed. Welcome Adil. What's my next hunt? My next hunt will probably be for a Charmander in Leaf Green. Just because that's the other game that I have that has shinies and I can play on this Game Boy, or on this GameCube. And they have Geodudes. Yeah, but Geodudes aren't quite as annoying. They don't have the confusion. That's what I always hate about Zubats, is they can just confuse you, and then you're stuck in the cave hurting yourself instead of walking around like you're supposed to. Alright guys, so we've got a little bit more than 15 minutes left in the stream, so it looks like we'll get to 27,000. Depending on how close we are to the end of to 10 o'clock, then that'll probably be where we end the stream for the night, because otherwise it's going to end in the middle of us resetting the save. So we'll see how it goes. We should be able to make it to 2,700 for the night. Tio Sasuke, welcome to the stream. Charmander's nice shiny? Yeah, it is. So we will see you Saturday. Yes, I should be streaming, James, and if I end up not being able to, I will post it in the Discord, which again is linked in the description down below. Discord's pretty cool. If you don't know what it is, it's basically like a mixture of like Skype and a normal like instant messaging thing. There is a voice chat, but there's also a text chat. And if there are any issues, like, and I can't stream Saturday, or I'll have to stream at a different time, I'll post like I'll post something in that Discord and like pin it so anyone can see it, saying like, "Hey, I won't be able to stream. Had something came up." But as it stands, I will be streaming Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. like usual. Should you try for a random encounter shiny in Soul Silver? I don't know. That's up to you. I mean, if you're able to set up like a Poker Radar chain, then definitely. But otherwise, you're going to be sitting here going forever. And that's just up to you. You're going to go through caves. If you're going to go through caves, you get a run of repels. Same. That's what I generally do. Unless I really need to level up. What's my favorite food? Yours is carbs. My favorite food is probably corn dogs. Hence, the default name for this Treecko is going to be corn dogs. If no one gets the right to name it. Which, for anyone who's new to the stream, what we're doing now is, if you can guess the encounter number that we get the shiny Treecko on, if you guess it exactly, you get to name the shiny if you were in the stream. Otherwise, the default name will be Corn Dog. Yeah, if a Pokemon is Pokerus after 4 days at midnight, it'll lose its Pokerus. Yeah, and I think that's unless it's in the PC. If it's in the PC, the timer stops. Sushi, pizza, enchiladas, foreign food, pretty much. Alright. When you're playing through Pokemon Fire Red for the first time, you never bought repels. That's a pretty hardcore right there. Unless you just want to hunt Zubats. I never really had issues with caves, except for when, like, I encounter like the 50th Zubat, and it confuses me for the second time in a row, and I still can't run. Those are when I have the issues. It's just, Zubats are an annoying Pokemon to not want to hunt. What's my favorite shiny legendary? If we're saying shiny legendaries, I'm going to say Rayquaza. If we say just shinies in general, it would be Milotic. Dang, it wasn't 2683. No, actually, the one that I'm doing right now is a 2683 Dennis. The way I've been counting them is... Well, unfortunately, it wasn't shiny. But the way I'm counting them is the number that's up on the screen as I start the game is the one for that encounter. Went through Rock Tunnel without Flash the first time I played Fire Red. Yeah, I mean, that's how you speedrun it, and that's like one of the funny things, where you can kind of... I think it's like... If you kind of glitch the game... Getting like Indigo, or not Indigo Plateau, but if you're trying to get to the Elite Four in Gen 3, they let you through even if you only have through Badge 6, because like you physically can't get places without getting through Badge 8, so they only do a check for Badge 6. You're saying 26.99? We'll see, Blazing Blaziken. We're actually pretty close to that one, which is still mind-blowing to me that we have hit, we're over 2,000, yet alone we're closer to 3,000 now. A lot of Portuguese here, if you can understand what's English. It doesn't really, it can be whatever anyone's talking in. If you know, if people want to talk in Portuguese or whatever, they can do it. I'm completely fine with it. I can't respond to those questions because I don't know how to say anything. This Treecko will be my first shiny. Crystal Crush, it won't be my first shiny, but it'll be my first shiny that I've ever streamed. I've done shiny hunting in like Pokemon Sun, but I don't have a 3DS capture card, so I can't actually capture footage from Pokemon Sun. You think 2700 will be shiny, and you want to name it Gecko Guy or Girl or Female. Okay. Okay, Tyler, we will see. How about naming Treecko Torchic? Maybe. Crazy Rayquaza, thank you for the sub. How am I? I'm doing well, Adil. How about you? DJ Warner, welcome to the stream. You have 4 Brazilians watching live, yeah. It's kind of cool. Seeing that, like, people are watching me from around the world. Almost all of your shinies are hacked. You have a shiny, God of Pokemon and a shiny Zygarde. Yeah, I mean, like, it's really easy to, like, basically gen Pokemon now so that you can get them shiny. And that's why I've avoided, like, GTS and stuff. Like, I don't want to get a shiny over it and, like, chuck it because, oh, it might be gen because it's still a shiny. But I also don't want to, like, be like, I have this shiny and then be like, but it might not be legit. So, like, that's why I like catching all my own ones because that way I know that they are legitimate shiny Pokemon. Alright, so we've got 10 encounters left until we get to 2700 and we've got about 10 minutes left in the stream. Welcome back, Lester. Just in time for the last few encounters for the stream. We'll get a shiny between 26.95 and 2700. We'll see, Crystal Crush. We will see. It'll be shiny at 26.97, and can you call it SpongeBob? If 26.97 is the shiny, then it will be named SpongeBob, Bob Builder. Your first was a Zubat. Awesome, Crystal Crush. $27.02 will be shiny Kareem. We may see that one tonight. We may not. It depends on how close to 10 o'clock we are when we get to 2700. I may end up ending the stream with like doing like a little kind of outro almost while I just reset the save. But depending on how close we are to like 10 o'clock at the time we hit 2700, that may just be the end of it. Do I speak Spanish? I don't, Mini Boss. The last time I like took any kind of Spanish class was about 5 years ago now, so I don't really remember any of it. Is this my first channel? It is, and if you're talking about stream, it is also like my first set of streams on my channel. Your first was a Zigzagoon. Nice, Daniel. Don't ignore me again. I didn't know I was ignoring you. I'm sorry, Andrea. I do not speak Spanish. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring anyone. It's just the chat's moving a bit fast for me to catch every single message. So I'm sorry if I miss them. Oh, Andrea says I am handsome. Thank you, Andrea. Your first shiny was a Zubat. Luckily, it was a female because shiny Crowbot is pink. Oh, that's cool, Wrong Mundo. I think I pronounced that right. One more subscriber. That's awesome. Oh, Andre, did you tell him not to tell me? If it's my number, name it Tree Stump. If it can't, name it Tree. We'll see. We will see. What was your number again, Blazing Blaziken? I think you said 699? We're getting close. We're on 2697 right now. Bob Builder, that's awesome being trilingual. Right now I only know English. I've been taking some Japanese classes at college, so hopefully I'll be like mildly fluent in that at some point. You've never encountered a shiny Itachi Uchicha. Well, I mean, anytime's a good time to start. In any game after Gen 3, they added methods of chaining if you didn't know. So it's really it's gotten easier to get shinies because you can basically increase your odds like almost exponentially just by doing certain things. So if you want to get into shiny hunting, I encourage it. It's really fun. It's really satisfying when you actually get the shinies. Do you want to learn Japanese? It's actually I've been enjoying it, Mini Boss. It's difficult to get into because it's completely different from like any language that came from Europe. So you have to think about it completely differently, but it's really fun. It's been fun learning it. How do you chain in Gen 5? I actually do not know that one, Game Master Matt, because I haven't played Gen 5. I know Gen 4 has like Poker Radar. There's DexNav and ORAS. Sun and Moon has SOS chaining. All right, guys. So 2699 wasn't a shiny. I think we're gonna do this as our last one for the night. We're gonna see what 2700 is, and that will be where I end the stream. So let's see. Korean is actually a very easy language. I don't know if it's an easy language. It's an easy alphabet, from what I've heard. Like, it's easy if you know how to speak the language. It's easy to be literate, is what I've heard. Actually, Indie Knight, who's in the chat, may be able to answer that one. Oh, Korean. He agrees Korean is easy. He also was born in Korea, so that's like me saying English is easy. All right, so we'll see. 2700. Will it be shiny? This is the moment of truth, guys. Last one for the night here. And is it shiny? Unfortunately, it wasn't shiny, so we're going to be streaming again Saturday to go for it again. So I just want to say again, thank you to everyone who tuned in and was watching the stream, and thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed. Everyone who's in the chat, you make this so much more enjoyable for me, being able to like talk to people and interact while I do this. And it means a lot that people actually like enjoy watching my streams. So just one last time, I'll plug my Discord. I'll post the link in the chat here. So anyone who wants to chat outside of the stream with anyone, me, the admins, anyone in the community, this server that I just posted a link to, Discord's free. It's awesome to use, and I'd like to see a lot of you guys in it. And so, again, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.